Sinister George Soros anti-ICE plot emerges.
Oh, here comes the propaganda.
Amid LA riots as paid foreign agitators are finally exposed. This is why they're doing it. Because the second biggest population behind white people that voted for Trump is what? Hispanics.
Yeah, Mexicans.
Okay?
All
for Trump.
And here's the deal. They're also the second biggest population in the country next to white people.
Oh, that's the next division thing. You're right.
Correct. I think the issue is being manufactured to be Mexican versus American because of the population size of the Hispanic community.
Correct.
They have the black and the white community has not gone at each other the way that they did at George Floyd because now they realize they got played. Mm-hmm. So now they got to have a new group to go against. And dude, I don't think that most Americans feel like they want to kick out their neighbor Jose back to Mexico. That's not, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm talking about these third world people that were dumped out of prisons and sent here by the millions.
Yeah.
Those people got to go. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to reality, guys. Today, we have Andy and DJ
Cruise the internet.
That's what we're going to do. That's what CTI stands for. It stands for Cruise the Internet. For those of you that know, this is our current events, comedy, politics, conspiracy. Yeah. Whatever we want to talk about format. This is not our only format. We also have Q&AF. That's where you submit the questions and we give you the answers. You can submit your questions a couple different ways. The first way is...
Guys, you can email these questions in to askandy@andyfrisella.com.
Or you go on YouTube on the Q&AF episodes, drop your question in the comments, or you go down and click that link right below those episodes, and you can call in the show and ask us the questions yourself. So we have that, and then we have Real Talk. Just 5 to 20 minutes of me giving you some real talk. You guys might call it a rant. Some of you might call it an angry rant. I'm not angry. I'm just passionate. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm angry. Yeah. And then we have 75 Hard Verses, which is people who have completed the 75 Hard program come on the show. They talk about how they used it to take their life from a place of dissatisfaction, I'll say it nicely, to a much better place. And they talk about how they've done that, and you can do it too. Now, if you're unfamiliar with 75 Hard, it's the world's most famous mental transformation program ever, and it's actually free. You can get it at episode 208 on the podcast, okay? It's on the audio feed only. It's not on YouTube. We didn't have YouTube when we started that. So yeah, there's also a book at andyfrisella.com. You go on andyfrisella.com and get the book. It's called The Book on Mental Toughness. It has the entire Live Hard program, 75 Hard program, plus a whole bunch of other chapters on mental toughness, what it is, how to cultivate it, and how to use it in your life. Other news. Got Day in the Life coming up here soon. All right. We started that up again. We have our first episode edited. We're going to have the second episode edited before we ever put the first episode up so we can get ahead of it, just letting you guys know. We have the new MFCEO project dropping very, very soon. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, he's been saying that for 2 years. Yeah, well, whenever it comes out, you'll understand why. So just calm the fuck down.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah. Relax, Karen. It's coming. Might be coming right around July 4th. I don't know. The 10-year anniversary of the MSCEO project. Could be maybe right around then. So I don't want to hear no bitching. The other thing is we don't run commercials on the show. All right. I ask very simply that you help us share the show. I finance the show myself. I don't want to listen to some corporate turd tell me what I can and can't talk about. So we do our own thing. So I ask very simply, help us share the show. If the show makes you think, if it makes you laugh, if it entertains you, gives you a new perspective, helps you out. If you hate it, share it and tell everybody you hate it. Just share. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right.
Yeah.
So DJ, we got a special guest today.
We have a very
and it's not you.
It's not me. Not me. But we do have a special guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody about
Mr. Casey Putsch.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
That's right.
What's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing great. It's nice to cruise in here. Just drive across good American countryside. It's always pretty. And really impressed by what's going on here. I like being surprised in an inspirational kind of way.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
That's sick. So Northwestern Ohio is where you are.
I say the greater Toledo area because I don't want to totally claim Toledo as home. Sure. So Perrysburg, love
makes
it.
Sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. No, Perrysburg, I say, is the town like America was for chain stores and credit cards. So it's pretty darn nice.
Really?
Yeah. I love it.
That's awesome, man. I
really do. It's great life there, you know, especially for raising kids.
Yeah.
I can drive any kooky old car I want. If I want to pick up my kid from school in a 1931 Buick Phaeton, I'll do it, you know. Or you want to rock the stick shift Lamborghini in the countryside, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, it's just all American.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I find myself craving that more and more.
Yeah, I hear you. It's kind of like I was saying.
How old are you?
43.
Yeah, so we're real close. I mean, like, I find myself starting to like, and I think it's different for guys that are our age because we experienced that life.
Yes.
And then we've experienced this life.
Yeah, 80s and 90s before cell phones and internet, right?
Yeah, dude.
There was something visceral about it.
Yeah,
BMX across town.
Yes.
You know, you're on your own. It was adventure.
Every day.
Yeah.
Like your parents kicked you out of the house and they said, you know, go do what you're going to do. And
yeah, or you just ran off. You know?
You might get hurt, you know.
Like we started a fire, jumped 3 creeks, and I built a cannon.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dude, but like, it's just, I don't know what it is, man. I'm starting to like crave that, like bad, like where I don't want to live. And maybe this is just like the hermit in me because I am a little bit of a hermit.
You're a little hermit, yeah.
But little hermity.
Yeah, a little recluse,
it's in there,
you know.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, man.
I mean,
it's justified.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's be real.
The shell is nice to be in. I mean, I say
yeah.
that.
But yeah, dude, I'm starting to like. I'm like, maybe I should just move like way the fuck out, like could, and then I got to get a helicopter. You know what I'm saying?
You could do that. I think there's a trick to this. Okay, so something you guys probably seen going around, maybe like Instagram or whatnot. There's this common theme is like, this is what they took from us. You guys have seen that.
Oh yeah,
right? You've seen it. And I've said something similar. It's like, I mow my own grass. I don't necessarily have to, and maybe, you know, the time resource would be if I paid somebody else to do it, but I don't want that taken away from me.
Yeah.
I still want to feel good about maintaining my own homestead. Like I got white paint on me because before I came here yesterday, I'm like, I'll drive later. I want to paint the deck today.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's important for us, especially in this day and age when so much is being taken away and electrified and changed. It's like, just still be a man or be a person, take ownership of what you're doing and work with your hands.
Yeah, DJ does that all the time.
For sure.
That's a big hobby of his.
That's what I'm about to say. I don't know if that's necessarily an age thing. I think it is the times, man.
You're different though. I would call you like an old soul. Like
thanks.
you like things like he likes he's only 29, but he likes all the same kind of shit that we would talk about.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is rare for guys your age.
Yeah. Is being more deep in things. It's like, hey, you can be interested in just what is now. Okay, that's fine. Be in the moment. But there's thousands of years of human history before this to explore and be and, you know, adventure in and be inspired by.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Sure. And like I remember like we would go to my mom's my mom was raised by her grandparents and they lived in Shawneetown, Illinois.
Okay.
Which is right on the Ohio River. And my grandpa, who was my great grandpa, which was like her dad.
Yeah.
He was a cat fisherman on the Ohio River. So that was his business. And dude, talk about a tough man. He lived in the corn crib of his, where he worked.
Yeah.
In the winter, he like lived inside the corn crib.
Wow.
Of this farm that he worked on. Then one time when he's growing up, his brother got drunk and shot him in the shoulder with a shotgun.
Jesus.
Yeah, dude. So he ended up range. Yeah, so he ended up being a fisherman on the Ohio River. So when I was young, we would go up there and they had like a barge that was like on the river and you know, they had a little ramp and it would go up almost like a dock. Like people would think it was a dock.
Is that still a thing? People living on kind of like barges in the Ohio River?
I don't know.
I know a guy that does
I haven't been there for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 25 years since I've been up there. And I think about going up there all the time, dude, and just like checking it out. But we used to go there, me and my brother, and bro, he'd be pulling fish out of the water that were as big as us. Like those fish you catch in there on the Mississippi. Dude, they'd be 3 feet, 4 feet.
Yeah.
Huge catfish. And dude, he had an old Coke machine that had bottles, like glass bottles, you know, and like that was the big deal, bro.
So it had cocaine in it.
No, not that long.
No, too far. Too far. Okay.
Yeah, you got too far back.
There's something about a glass bottle of Coke.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. And so like it was a big deal for us. I could still remember like the smell and like which wasn't good, but it had a smell, and then like the toilet had a like it just went straight into the river.
Yeah.
You know, so you'd sit on the toilet, bro, and there would be like water right there.
That's wild. That made me think when you said the Coke machine. Me growing up, the family business was a little public golf course in Temple House, Seneca Hill. Sadly, it's not there anymore. But in the 80s, I grew up helping the family business. People would want candy bars and pop or whatever, or they'd get beer and stuff like that. So like my whole childhood is a blend between the movie Caddyshack, just straight up. I love that movie because it kind of feels like being a kid again.
DJ's for sure never seen it.
Never seen it.
You got to watch it, man.
Yeah.
Like my wife is like, let's have cocktail night and watch Caddyshack tonight.
Brother, I get him to watch Days of Thunder. You know what he says to me?
What?
He says, "Oh, dude, you see how bad the videography was?" I'm like, it was 1985, man.
Drink something.
Yeah. No shit.
I see that like that same thing back in the 80s. It's like some people say it's like, what was your childhood life? I'm like, well, it's kind of like being at a bar outside, all that. So I still remember like, oh, that guy drank Stroh's.
Yeah.
That guy drank Bud Light. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing. And
we grew up on baseball diamonds where all the parents drank.
Yes.
Like after the games, bro, the parents got f***ed up and we just kept playing baseball.
Yeah.
Bro, I probably shouldn't say this, but one time, dude, I was like 9, 10 and I drove the car home because my dad was so up. Sal's done it too, bro.
No, statute of limitations.
Yeah, there is for sure.
We're good.
But yeah, I mean, dude, I just like, I don't know, man. I crave that kind of like nostalgic feeling almost. And I don't have too many memories of like being young. I don't know why. Like I'm not one of those, I'm always looking forward.
Sure.
I don't like look back too much.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
there's some value to nostalgia, like finding memories again. So knowing who you are, where you came from, but you got to move forward.
Yeah. And the more we're going a long way around, but the more and more like the older I get, I've got a beautiful house and this crazy garage and all this shit. But the older I get, the more I'm like, fuck, dude, I just want to move I kind of want to move like an hour away or an hour and a half away and live in a regular house, like a farmhouse.
Yep.
And I have a big garage still.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
That's there's no compromising on that.
I got a theory about this.
Yeah.
No, I can't compromise that.
Yeah.
You try to take my cars away, I will go to war.
Yeah.
Like, ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
But no, I got a theory about that. And I think the internet, in a sense, has pushed everybody to a point to where, in a sense now, especially being a young man, I think, you can't feel good about yourself anymore. See, when we got to grow up as kids in the 80s and the 90s and whatnot, you were part of a culture, whatever it was. Doesn't matter who you are or where you're from or what color you are, nothing, but you were part of a culture and you could at least be proud of yourself and your culture. And now it's so hard to do that because you're always under attack. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a root of one thing that we're all trying to find a culture again, find those things. That's why I said even just mowing the grass or painting your deck or working on your old car. I found this. I started a group called the No Snob Porsche 944 Squad, just helping out young guys and gals like buy a cheap Porsche 944 and fix it up. And then suddenly I found created this whole community. And I think there's something bigger there because they get to fix something out and make it their own that's outside of all this. So I think everybody's just looking for that culture to be proud of.
It's one of the things I love about cars too, is because car culture is one culture, but then there's a million subcultures inside of it. And they're usually, almost always very, very positive.
Totally. And the other thing about cars is it brings people together.
For sure, dude.
Different backgrounds and socioeconomic classes. Because if you think about it, since the Industrialized Revolution, cars represent everything from just transportation to sport to art to social economic class or whatever, history. So it's a great way to bring everybody together. And it's the biggest symbol of absolute freedom, I think we have, period. And in a sense, the Germans, right? Autobahn, they still have unlimited sections. Yeah. The German Autobahn is the equivalent of America's Second Amendment, basically. You will not take this freedom away from us.
Have you driven on it?
I have. My Murcielago, my gated Murcielago, I bought it in Germany. And
what year is your gated?
03.
What color?
Orange.
Arancio Borealis?
I call it metallic Alice. Orange. Yeah. I don't get that fancy.
It's Borealis probably.
It's my orange Murcielago.
I have the first customer deliver new Ford GT 17 painted in that same color.
Nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful color, especially in the sun.
It's gold with orange on top of it.
But I tell you, that thing, 150, 200 miles an hour across Germany, that is the dream.
Oh, yeah.
200 miles an hour on your way to get beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you own any other Lambos?
Yeah, I got an 04 Launch Edition Gallardo that's also manual. It was Chris Tucker's car originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It's cool. Yeah.
V10 manual. Those are hard to beat, bro. I just bought a 15 R8 with a V10 gated.
Nice. Yeah.
Love it, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm all about it. I love these kind of cars. Got a couple of early Vipers, the blue white stripes, GTS and RT10.
Yeah.
Is that what this is right here in the back right here?
Yeah, back there. Those are the two Vipers. And then my Omega car, of course.
That's the one you built, right?
Yeah. That's a whole topic of discussion right now.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yep. But no, other things. I always love vintage racers. Got my 60s Formula B. I got a few motorcycles. Got a couple of vintage Ducatis, an MV Agusta, and a Triumph I love. Got a 31 Buick Phaeton, pre-war car. If you ever come by, like any of y'all, we'll drive around in the Buick with the top the way it is, smoking cigars. It's awesome. That's the way.
I'm in, dude.
Lounge,
It sounds awesome.
I'll bring a couple cars up. We're getting ready to. I'm buying a 2-car hauler just so I can kind of like go around and like unload cars and drive them to different places. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm huge into it, dude. Like, I actually just bought my first Lamborghini. Talked about this. You don't know this yet.
I don't know this. So.
I bought my first. Okay, so I used to be a huge Lamborghini guy. I owned a ton of Lamborghinis from 2011 till 2019.
Okay.
And then we sponsored their race team and all this shit, and we had this falling out. Yeah, and we had a big falling out. And so I like protested. I sold all my fucking cars. Didn't we just talk about this
we did,
on the show?
Yeah.
What show is that?
I think it was Casey.
Or Nathan. Yeah. So I just bought my first Lamborghini since 2019. I bought an SVJ Roadster black. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
It actually comes today.
Did you get it from the guys that made that video? Did you see that video down? Where'd you get it from? Florida?
Arkansas.
Okay. No.
Yeah. It came from Elite Shelby down there at Elite, who runs the 4GT store.
Gotcha.
I bought a number of cars from him. He's got the best cars. But yeah, dude, I think I'm going to pick up an SV too. An Aventador SV, just because they're the two last NA V12s.
That's why I got what I got. Yeah. Did the last two stick shift
Lamborghinis. Yeah. Dude, that Mercy. How many miles you got on that thing?
40-some thousand.
Yeah. It's still worth a ton of money.
Yeah, when I first got it on the Autobahn, I'm driving to see that beautiful orange, and I'm just like those high-speed sweepers through the German countryside. A buddy of mine, I'm like, it was all perfect. It was like all of my DNA or whatever it is in me came together this perfect moment. I'm like, they can pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. If you want to buy it, I'll fight you for it.
I get it, dude.
No.
There's cars like that, man. I'm like that with my Chevelle. I've got a 70 Chevelle.
Yeah.
That, it was an original LS6 that I found off this dude in Alabama. It was sweet. People are going to get pissed when I say this. But anyway, we tore the apart.
Yeah.
I kept all the shit so I could put it back together if I want. But we put an Art Morrison chassis on it. I run a 454 LSX, all forged out, and Whipple 4.5 Whipple on it.
Yeah.
And dude, it is awesome. And I drive the car 3 days a week.
Yeah, that's your creation. I get it. My Blue Viper's the same way. I bought that thing with like 19,000 miles with the Lark way back when. Loved it because it did everything you could want.
Yeah.
And it was reliable.
Yeah.
I got 100,000 miles on that thing now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good stories of it. Yeah. And then more recently, since I got other cars and things to do, I'm like, you know what? I don't need this Viper like I did before. Like when it was kind of like my main car. I should just go nuts with it. Like go crazy with it, everything. Just make it so it's like trackable, streetable, just go wild. So I have. It's been a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, Vipers are cool, man.
Yeah.
Just raw, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really see those that often no more.
Not the older ones.
I guess not, man. I don't know. Yeah, people got way into the newest ones. Those really came up in value, and for some reason,
dude, they're going crazy.
Yeah,
the new ACRs, like the newest one.
I get it, but I don't get it. The other thing too, you got to take certain things with a grain of salt, and I kind of avoid cars that get too hot because when a certain car gets too hot, it's not organic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's
the hype behind it. Yeah,
that's another thing. As I've gotten old, how long have you been buying cars?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
So it's been, legitimately probably about 15 years for me where I could afford cars, like nice cars.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, when I was a kid, I was doing slot cars or something. So
Yeah,
like, yeah.
oh, yeah,
You just keep
dude.
going, baby.
For sure. I mean, Hot Wheels, Micro Machines, slot car. We had a slot car track in our garage.
Yes.
And like the old, not a, out of the, I'm talking the one that takes up a whole room.
124 scale?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I built my own slot car dragster out of cutting up a wire hanger.
Wire.
Yeah.
Brass, soldering it together.
Yeah, and soldering it together.
I love doing that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was awesome. And dude, ever since I've been a kid, it's always been cars, man. But out of all those cars, out of everything that I've had, it's still almost impossible for me to say that's the favorite car. I have my Chevelle.
I get it.
My Chevelle is absolutely like the car. Like if shit went bad and I had to sell all my shit,
I'm keeping this one thing.
I'm keeping that. I don't care. I don't care what I got to do. I would drive it every single day.
Yeah, it's crazy to sound. My 3 for me, it's like, I'm going to have to always have one of these. It's my Blue Viper.
Yeah.
GTS. As silly as it sounds, a Porsche 944, all things being equal, fight me over this statement. I think it's the best car ever made. I know it sounds crazy, but in a way it is.
I've never driven one.
And my Murcielago. They're just this perfect little car. It's completely overlooked.
My old neighbor had one of those, a black one. They were sick.
They look good. They do it all.
They do look good.
Don't rush. You can drive it 4 seasons.
Yeah.
It feels good to shift it,
Is it rear wheel drive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect weight distribution. It's a great car.
How much power do those make?
I don't remember. I mean, the naturally aspirated one's probably like 160, and the turbo ones are 240 something.
Yeah.
So enough to
They
do
used
what
to
you
be
need
like
to do.
big power too.
Yeah. Just drive
Just
it,
to
everyday
confirm,
car.
we're talking about this right here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just bought a fixer-upper turbo.
Bro, when I was a kid, dude, you saw these everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That black one right there is what my neighbor used to have. Right here.
Yeah,
You're right on it.
naturally aspirated one, right in the middle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great car. I mean, it's not worth that much. You're not gonna go to some club and everybody's gonna think you're magical for it.
No,
That
but they're
doesn't
cool.
matter. It's just the perfect car, man. It's tied into like 80s culture when we were kids. It's just you can drive it. It's like a vintage car you can daily drive, and they're not worth so much that like normal people can't get into it, find a new love. And I like, there's this other meme going around. People are like, is the cure to male loneliness starting your own militia or something? You know what I mean? You see stuff like that on Instagram.
It's cars.
Right. No, it is. But I was like, you know what it is? Get a fixer-upper 944.
Yeah.
Like, I did. I bought another fixer-upper. I don't need to. I can afford better cars, but there's something about it.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I
Yeah.
get it.
It's like
I'm
a
like
puppy.
that. I like the 05, 06 Ford GTs too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are great cars.
Yeah. I've got 2 of those.
Raw.
I love them. Yeah, I like the 930 turbo too.
You know what? I like them a lot.
I like the way they look.
You got to.
I think the
Iconic.
design of that 930 body style.
She's got hips.
Yeah, it's the
You know?
best.
She's got hips.
Oh yeah, bro.
But they became too iconized or like too worshipped by the air-cooled Porsche crowd.
Yeah, so
I've
you're
kinda,
a
like,
little
distanced
you're a little
myself.
contrarian.
Well, I was kind of a hipster in a way. It's like you guys are.
Yeah,
you
you're drinking
think cool.
You're drinking oatmeal stouts and shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's
I'm daily driving Vipers in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are sick.
Yeah, they are.
They are
Dude,
sweet.
And when you see them in person, I mean, bro, they're super slow.
They actually are. Yeah. No, the 944 turbo will decimate a 930 turbo same year around a road course.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's true.
I didn't know that.
It's true. No. Well, and all the air cooled snobs don't want you to know that because they worship this car.
Now, dude, there is something to be said for driving a slow car fast.
That's accurate.
If you really want to learn how to drive, you get a slow car and you learn how to drive fast.
Well, there's something to be said for it too, because we do live in America. Okay, we have speed limits. So if you know our Lamborghinis, right?
Yeah.
The trouble is, if we really get to enjoy that exhaust note for more than like 1 gear, we're going to jail.
Yeah,
right.
Well, bro,
You know what I'm saying?
That's how my Ford GTs are. My second gear, the top end of the second gear in the 05, 06 Ford GT is 100.
Oh yeah.
So you're only using first and second gear around town.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Good
So
Lord.
no, there's some value about cars like that. And then, I like to tease the air cool crowd. But the nice thing about cars like that is you actually can enjoy using the motor and the gears and not feel like you're putting everybody's lives at risk or something.
It's the same with motorcycles, bro. Everybody wants the 1,000cc motorcycles. It's like, bro, get yourself get a 600 or get it even smaller because it'll teach you how to ride right. You'll enjoy it.
I've been wanting to import one of those 250cc 4-stroke bikes from the late 80s from Japan, one of the 250 Yamaha or Kawasaki's.
Yeah.
Why not?
Bro, did you see that Grom going down the road the other day?
Yeah.
Dude, what did that guy have on that thing?
He had something in there, though.
We saw this dude riding a Grom, and he
rolling.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Dude. Anyway.
He took the governor out or something. Yeah.
So let's get into this, all right? Because I'm sure people are probably thinking like, will you just bring this dude on to talk cars? Maybe.
We could.
Yeah. I brought it on because of that dork that said, stop talking about cars.
Yeah.
Guess what? Real AF is all cars.
Now on?
From now on. It's all
cars.
It's all cars.
Yeah.
Every episode's all cars. All of you guys. That's how I operate, bro.
Could be.
Like you tell me not to do it, I'm doing it.
Yep.
So this is the start of it. All cars.
Yeah. So the Omega car here. You want to talk about that thing, huh?
Yeah. Let's give everybody your background and like.
Oh God.
Kind of like just let's give them some context at least. Because you're a pretty interesting dude.
Oh, I grew up in Northwest Ohio. Family business was a small golf course. My dad was a car guy. Grew up riding in a Ford Model 8, a '67 Corvette, and British cars.
Yeah.
Loved slot cars. Loved all that. Loved trains when I was a kid, animals, that sort of thing. And young men, you want a cool car. Grew up in the '80s. You want a Test Rush. You want a Countach or something. Can't afford it.
Yep.
Who can work on this stuff, especially before the internet, right? I want a DeLorean. My dad's like, no way. Who can work on that? So you got to learn, right? And we always had to fix our own stuff, family business. My granddad was a World War II vet, Battle of Okinawa. He was a solid American. We all fix our own things. You take responsibility for yourself to figure out a way. And I wanted cool cars. I wanted fast cars. So you take pride in what you have and where you're at, and you learn to fix it up. But then you got to think about, hey, if I buy this thing, can I get my money out of it? Or can I make money and trade up? Can I keep going if I don't magically have a business or career that's going to allow me to buy anything I want? And so that was just kind of the mindset that drove that. And I always wanted to race, love going fast. That was kind of my sport, or fencing, like martial arts and that sort of thing, and kind of grew a drive there. And, just journey through life. It's all about the cars and building cool things. I built what was known as the world's only turbine-powered Batmobile about 15 years ago. I built an exact replica of the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton film, Batmobile.
You still have it?
No, I sold it a long time ago, but I powered it by what it was in fiction. I sourced a Vietnam-era drone anti-submarine turboshaft engine. It was made by Boeing. Most of them, I guess, were pushed into the ocean after the war, but found this one. Worked perfect for adapting to a modified automatic transmission driving the wheels. So that was really cool. So I've done things like this.
What did that come off of?
The engine?
Yeah.
A drone anti-submarine helicopter from Vietnam.
Dude.
No joke. It's called the Dash drone anti-submarine helicopter. It was launched from boats that could travel like 70 miles away, carry 2 torpedoes. It was counter-rotating props like the early drones that kids would have.
This is a helicopter engine in the car.
Yeah.
This thing looks crazy.
It idled at 20,000 RPMs, had a maximum usable gas generator. Yeah, there it is right there. There's the engine. Of 40,000 RPMs on the gas generator, had 2 tachometers, one for the gas generator, one for the output shaft. Driving the transmission, I would just shift based upon the RPM range of the driving side, and then you just monitor your gas generator. So in a sense, it's kind of weird because you got a gearbox, and I know we're talking about the Batmobile now, but instead of the Omega car, but it's a good tangent, right? It was kind of weird because driving it was in a weird sort of way, kind of like a sailboat. Because you're being powered by thrust, by power internally. It was almost kind of like this, like the windy hand of God is thrusting your car forward. So it was really, really cool. Yeah, there it is.
Dude, we covered this. We covered this in the thumbs up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, dude,
this
I built
is your
that.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, I've roasted marshmallows on that exhaust with my fencing rapier.
That's crazy.
I took this thing to the clubs back in Columbus. They let me park on the street, and
Did you put real guns on it?
No, those are Simfire Browning 30 cals, which is what in the movie, but it's powered by oxygen and propane on a computer-controlled circuit with a couple solenoids. So you get the cadence of the fire. You wouldn't have the projectile breaking the sound barrier, but you'd also get the nice muzzle flash.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. This is what I do with small resources, man. Someday, if I actually have Bruce Wayne resources, it's going to get fun. Yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it?
That's badass,
It came out good.
Crazy.
How long did it take you to do that?
I think I did it in like 5 months.
So you were doing it all day long?
Just rocking and rolling. Pretty efficient,
How'd you make the body?
Honestly, the body was already made, believe it or not, and I sourced it because the movie, the stunt cars were built by a studio in England, right? And as the story goes, Six Flags Amusement Park got a license to do live action shows after the movie. They needed stunt cars, so those prop cars were floating around. And then I guess somebody made molds, and you can find one every now and then.
Huh?
Yeah. So I cut up a C4 Corvette. I use the suspension and bulkheads to do that. Use the same, the transmission out of it because I actually adapted that General Motors 4-speed to it. In fact, those are the Corvette seats. I just vinyl painted them black to make it work, and had to, basically make my own space frame with the bulkheads and stuff. And then it's still titled as a Corvette, and I just insured it as a modified vehicle. That there is my Corvette.
Bro, that's wild.
Yeah. How much horsepower that thing make?
I think it was better part of 400, something like that. Yeah, and it was a light engine, so the whole car didn't really weigh that much. I didn't weigh it.
Did it sound like a turbine?
Yeah, it idled at $20,000.
That's crazy.
It's
dude.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, there's the engine. No, that was cool. But the Omega car, so I built things like this and some other cool things. Did a full-scale flying pterosaur replica and things like that just for fun. But this came about because back in 2008, I didn't really care that much about politics back then. Okay, I was still a younger man. Like in my 20s, I was way more interested in, what's the next fast car I can get, and was it pretty women I can go out with. That's what I cared about: fast cars and pretty women.
And not necessarily in that order.
They make that's a good joke about Kentucky. It's all about beautiful horses and fast women.
Yep.
And so 08 was coming around, right? And Obama was the hot tick, and he's talking. I'm listening to him, and I didn't think much about policy. I'm just watching, with friends, like, what's going on? I remember him in the Democratic National Convention going on this big thing and how he's going to retool Detroit so the energy fuel efficient cars of tomorrow built here for the sake of the nation and world. And that just struck me as bullshit. I'm like, you're not Kennedy. This is not we're going to the moon within 10 years kind of a statement. It's not going to happen. And that stuck with me. And, we had the financial crisis in 08. And then a few years later, I'm looking at what the automotive industry is going on with the bailouts and stuff. And we're doubling down on, muscle cars and big trucks. And come on, man, I love muscle cars and big trucks. And if you can afford the fuel, do what you want. It's America, right? Don't force me to do something. But I'm thinking, this is also BS. Something's off here. We're not actually doing anything. I'm looking around, riding. I still vividly remember thinking about this riding around on my motorcycle. And I was researching various materials and kind of, different manufacturing techniques and stuff, because I always like to think about, like, what cool thing can I build next, And one day it hit me. I'm like, there's a myriad of ways to make a cost-effective, strong, more recyclable, energy-efficient structures that we can build cars with. And I'm like, I'm going to do it. And I just had to do it. It was like a flash. And I said, electric's starting to be a thing, but nobody knows what the heck a kilowatt hour is. So I'm gonna make it be diesel, because everybody understands a mile per gallon. And my goals are, I want it 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. I want it cracking 100 miles to the gallon. And I figured those two things people will understand. And if I build a car that is recyclable and representative of what we can actually do, because you could put any drivetrain in good design and engineering philosophies. That's what the car represents: good design and engineering philosophies with mass production, right? But I did diesel because people understood that. You can make it whatever you need to be. And so I built it over the course of the year, kind of got burned out. I showed it at the Pittsburgh Cars and Coffee Hangar Party and did like a talk. And I think I talked too long and bored them or whatever, but and I did it. And then I realized I don't have a voice. If I finish this thing, get the numbers and stuff, nobody's going to know it. It's not going to matter. And so I just left it in my garage for a better part of 10 years. I know it sounds crazy, and some people are like, you're telling me you built this thing back. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I did.
It looks a lot better than a Tesla too.
Yeah, it does.
I agree. Thank you. It's form following function. I had a goal and wanted it to be good looking. But, and in that time when it was sitting, it wasn't that I was doing nothing. I was doing the Genius Garage educational programs, picking up the slack from the American educational system that I...
Now tell people what that is.
So I built a 501c3 back in 2013. My wife has been incredible, so I can't say I built it alone. That's not it. There's a lot of amazing people that helped make that happen. So it was this. I looked at young engineers at universities and college, and other people in design, building and all that. And I go, school is an academic vacuum. You have no real world experience. There is nothing that is driving these students to create better, because there's like no accountability. It's a vacuum. It's this little padded room kind of area. And then they get out in the real world. Do they have mentors? They got a direction? They know how to do anything? And these are the questions and problems that industry was facing. And I just thought one day, I was involved with race cars and building vintage race cars. It's a team thing. It's really cool. Come together for a common goal. You know racing. I don't have to tell you. Same thing with airplanes and building airplanes. And I just thought, if I'm going to be involved with, racing and airplanes and things anyway, why don't I do it in a way that matters? So I put the structure together and did it as such because it was simple. I wanted to put together a program to where then I could use my, my contact book, my Rolodex of everything from CEOs to fighter pilots to anybody that's a great mentor, to bring them in as mentors, real world mentors for these young people, give these young people a common goal. We're going to build this race car and we're going to go race it in the real world, not some academic challenge series, the real world. And what we're going to do is we're going to document this on the way. You're going to do the research writing paper of your life too. And I'm going to do it and package it in such a way that the world cannot ignore you. That's the way I looked at it. Just boldly do what needs to be done. And it worked. The formula worked from the first year and at getting them jobs. And it always ends up putting the resume on the top of the pile, and that's what they always talk about in hiring things. And it's worked since that time. And I just believed in and fought in it the whole way. I don't get paid to do it. Done it for 11 years. Got a couple of cool Lifetime Achievement Awards from the last couple of presidents. That's nice, but it doesn't keep the lights on. And it just means a lot to me because it matters, because it works. And that's why I fought for it, man. But that's what I've been doing while the Omega car has been sitting. And it's funny enough because that's what actually drove me to becoming something of a social media figure on YouTube, because about 5 years in, I was pissed off because we couldn't get any exposure for what we're doing. I'm like, I got college students that are putting together an IndyCar, and we're actually running this in big races. We're building airplanes. They're getting unbelievable jobs at everywhere from Tesla and Palo Alto to Lockheed Martin, Marathon, Chrysler, Ford, whatever. And no one's writing about this.
Why do you think that is?
Well, let me come back to that question. So
Yeah.
let me tell you what I did. Okay, I started trying to play the game. Like, is this sponsored content? Is that how it works? That's not what it is. I knew a guy who owned a magazine, a premier magazine in vintage racing. And I'm like, dude, why don't you guys write something about it? He's like, well, it's up to our editor. Wouldn't write anything. So I went on a mission, and as silly as it sounds, I made a little video on my Facebook. And it was not big. It was just my Facebook at the time, right? And I said, I'm giving away 3 of my most prized personal possessions anybody can help get publicity. And I had a big fossilized megalodon tooth, big shark tooth. I had an early copy of Darwin's Origin Species and an early copy of Einstein's Relativity books.
That's crazy.
And one of my past students from the first year, he's like, connects me with Ed at VinWiki. And I didn't know what the heck that was back then, but it was a place you could tell stories about cars, which is really kind of cool. Another person connected me with a traditional publicist, PR type guy. And fortunately, I had enough car stories, enough personality that worked. I kept getting invited back with VinWiki, and that kind of built a presence there on social media. And then what was doing with Genius Garage could also tell those stories. So got exposure, and people saw it and believed in it. The public. You actually get out there and do it. And then with traditional media and the publicist, I learned the kind of silly way that traditional media actually works. And I say it's silly because they're just hurting themselves. They don't even understand the nature of social media. But then I figured out how to pair those two things together. So I just saw something that was wrong with society and the educational system, that young people weren't getting the mentorship and the opportunity to really fly. Mm-hmm. They just weren't. That's what I wanted to create with Genius Garage, because that's what I didn't have. And no telling where any of us could be if we had the right people in our lives at the right time. And I knew I could make that difference for them at that time with what I know and connected to. So I did that. And then the media was jacked, right? And we'll get into why, because I want to hear your thoughts too. We'll talk about it. So then built that and kept going. And then more recently, of course, the Omega car. But your question relating to why would nobody write on it? Okay, let me speak about the microcosm that is the automotive enthusiast world. And then we'll extrapolate that, because it's all this stuff works in the same way, right? If you just consider automotive YouTube, okay, that's cool, but all media kind of works the same way. So it's kind of like a test. So let's say we got the racing world. We got the Concours world, we got the car collector world, we got the aftermarket world. That's all great. But in a sense, those industries only exist from money from another industry. They're industries of hobby and fun, not need in society. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, and because of that, you get figures of power, of money, of well-standing. And I kind of also noticed that with that, it's almost like I called them little kings. Because if you have somebody, let's say they have a big race team, or let's say they own a series, or maybe they own some big car collection at series, they're kind of a little king. Mm-hmm. And then they sort of have their royal court, and you have all that. And if you're not within that royal court, and those are the ones established, that's what the media is going to write about. You're just this fringe tier thing.
You're out.
And you're hoping that somebody throws you a scrap, in a manner of speaking. And I think that's sort of how that works. So I think what pushed me on the scene in a way where they couldn't ignore me anymore was the nature of social media and VinWiki, where you just tell stories, which is kind of cool because it's no different than like the 19th hole at a golf course. You know, I grew up with like World War II vets with a pitcher of beer telling stories. That's where you learn to tell stories. And in this way, it was the opportunity to do it. So that's one of the really cool things about social media, where people can make bigger things happen.
Now tell people about VinWiki that don't understand what it is.
Just car stories.
Yeah.
You know, it was an app to track VIN numbers and such that Ed Bolian created. Brilliant move. And it's a place I kind of consider it, you know, the TV show Cheers, you know, is everybody got a spinoff kind of a thing, but it's a place where you can go on and just tell an interesting or crazy car story. And that was, I think, a cultural movement in a way, and a really good thing, because that was a way to bring the whole culture worldwide together and share stuff. So it's really cool. Admittedly, I have gotten miffed because in my personal opinion, like having been somebody who's done this so much to help young people and be something of a role model, I've gotten frustrated by so many stories about illegal stuff and glorifying, because I've started to see the negative effects about that, and I've been openly critical about it. But the platform and VinWiki is an awesome thing. It's created a lot of good for the car world. But I would say, going back to why the media exists the way it is, it's the little kings. So if we look at the rest of the world, right, who owns what media group, whether it's CNN or Fox or whatever? What are their agendas? That's what they're going to see.
Of course.
You know, and you know, I've mentored, I don't know, a better part of 100 young people in college, and they're all different backgrounds, man, all different politics, all different races. Some that are, I'll use the old phrase of fresh off the boat, but no, really, like they're coming over, they're just learning the American culture, maybe they're first generation, just across the board. And the thing of it is that's kind of shocked me in knowing this is, and people I think are waking up, that, dude, the media is not the media anymore. It's propaganda. Like everything's bought and paid for. These so-called protests, everything, it's orchestrated.
Dude, 100%. But remember, you have to be a certain age to remember that.
Yes.
So like, dude, a lot of these guys that are, these kids that are 20 years old, they don't remember that.
Scary.
Yes.
They don't know.
It's always been propaganda their whole life. They don't remember when the news was actually the news. And by the way, we don't even know if the news was actually the news because there was no internet to counterbalance what the truth may or may not have been.
Correct. And that's in a sense where guys like us are now questioning the past in our own culture, like what was real and what's
the true history. Yeah.
That's
I
true,
know, dude.
just across the board there. But no, that's a scary thing, and I see it so much. And being a YouTuber, even just in small ways in the automotive world, I know what kind of BS people are doing behind the scenes to meet their objective where it's not what they say it is. I know what game you guys are playing to try to be big. You're not being real. And that's the one thing when I did my channel, I'm like, you know, the one thing, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with my own personal channel. I like cars. I like building stuff. But I know I can be honest. And I would rather personally have a smaller channel and be honest and do things in the real world and be able to address things that are really happening and do something of value than be huge and just be
it's deep.
A dancing clown.
It's depth versus width, right? Like I could have a much more, dude, I could have way more subs on YouTube if I just, you know, flexed my shit all the time.
Yeah.
And didn't talk about these issues that are unpopular. But the people who listen, you guys listening, they become very strong supporters.
True. And
you know,
you
and
actually,
fans of the show.
Yeah, and you give people the opportunity to see something to where maybe they'll start using more independent thought on their own.
Exactly.
Because, you know, I'm not, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't think, like, I'm not here to program people to make you think a certain way. I'm going to share my opinion. If you agree, great. But contest me. I'm not a psyop, dude. You can question anything. Let's go.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I am trying to get people to think a certain way, but it's just think critically.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's it.
Exactly. And it's a journey, you know. Yeah. I'm sure we've all changed our opinions on things as we grow. We get more information, more experiences, you know.
Absolutely, dude. That's the whole point.
It's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
So the Omega car, I want to blow some big world narratives with that thing when I finally did something with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said way back when I started building, I was like 2013. I wanted to 0 to 60 under 5 seconds, over 100 miles a gallon. Wanted to represent something that'd be more sustainable, recyclable, it'd be cheap that people could buy. Because, like, I tell you this, I've never bought a new car in my life. Not one. You know, maybe someday I will, but one, who can afford to lose money depreciation for no reason?
The moment you pull off the parking lot.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. Not going to do it. But anyway, I want to do something better because they're talking about it not happening. Well, in that 10 years I've been doing Genius Garage and all what's sitting around, a lot has changed. Okay. The left push for EV mandates is coming to play big time. Tesla's coming to prominence. We've had more radicalized politics. We've had people not being able to understand reality anymore, just going with propaganda and such. And last year, big year, election year, I mean, I would say the direction of the world is largely at stake. And I'm like, okay, EV mandates are going on. It's going to be Kamala or Trump. Like, first of all, these EV mandates are the worst possible thing for the automotive industry. They will destroy all innovation, and I know what
Not only that, they're bad for the environment.
Oh, it's a total superficial joke.
Yeah.
It's such a joke.
It's about control, bro. They want to be able to control the power to your home and control where you go and all
Absolutely.
that shit. Yeah.
100%. And the only thing I have to say is fight back on the BS and the narrative and the lies if you see it. But that also doesn't mean that we go so far the other direction we just destroy the environment. Like, I actually like the environment and conservation, hunting and fishing and stuff. So let's be cool, reasonable human beings, but let's not go along with the lies anymore. So I think it's fair to say, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, nobody wants to destroy the environment, but we have to acknowledge the reality of the environment, which is this. The environment takes a lot of carbon dioxide to produce the amount of oxygen that we need.
Yeah.
And the carbon dioxide balance compared to what it is now to 50 years ago or 100 years ago or anything, it's the environment is a self-adjusting ecosystem.
That's accurate.
So when we talk about, oh, well, there's more people and more this and more that, yeah, there is, but also there's more people consuming the byproducts of that.
True.
So like the whole environmental argument is actually a pretty low IQ argument.
Correct.
Because you're the only people that truly believe in it. There's two kinds. It's like vegans, bro. Vegans believe in veganism for one of two reasons. Some believe it's healthy. It is not healthy. Others believe it's morally an issue, which I can relate to that.
They enjoy feeling good.
Okay,
about
that's
themselves.
okay. If you're a moral vegan,
Cool.
I can respect that.
Cool.
But you are not healthier because you are a vegan. If you are a moral environmentalist, meaning you just don't want to see shit, you don't want to see oil on birds and six-pack
Dude, that
plastic
commercial killed me with the
hold on.
and
Let me finish. So if you want to see, you don't want to see cups in the street and shit everywhere, that's fine. I agree. I'm with you, dude.
That's how you run your business. Everybody cleans up.
Dude, I'm with you. I don't want to see that shit either. I care a lot about that. I care a lot about all those things. But when we start talking about electric cars being better for the environment, when you're stripping out all these irreplaceable minerals to create the batteries,
Tell
lithium,
all the black kids in the lithium and cobalt mines in the Congo.
yes,
right.
that are being mined by human slaves.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the whole lie that it is better for the environment is, I mean, bro, it's a massive lie. And I can't, it's hard for me to respect anybody that even believes it.
That comes from that argument.
Because they're not looking past the surface level bullshit they're being sold. So, but I mean, if you want to, so you believe in pollution? No, I don't at all. But just, I don't believe in bullshit.
Those are the same weak arguments they use on everything. Oh, you're not for that? Well, you must be a Nazi.
Yeah, I know shit, dude.
Like, are you serious?
9, I'm
but
not.
anyway,
No,
yeah.
Yeah, man. No. But so last year on that, right, with the world narrative, I'm like, I got to speak up. I got to take a stance. And the other thing was like, I didn't actually test this thing at the numbers. It works, but it's only what I thought it would do in my head way back when. And I called it on video. I said this on video 11 years ago. Actually, I put that one of the beginnings. So I go, okay, measure distance, driving normally through the countryside. I didn't even have the fairings on. I didn't have it full tune. I'm just like, we're going to drive this. I'm going to fill the metal tank exactly to this level, exactly. And I've got a graduated thing. I can measure fractions of an ounce. I'm going to drive it normally, stop sign, start it up, drive it, stop signs, turns, everything, come back, measure it. 104.72 miles a gallon first try. It will get better. That's with no tuning or anything else. Just, okay, done. Next day, I need 0 to 60 times with comps. Because the other thing, a lot of 0 to 60 times with, manufacturing stuff is kind of a lie. It's a rollout and whatnot, perfect conditions, sticky tires and all that. Okay, great. So I'm going to run my 93 Dodge Viper RT10, good old-fashioned American big car. I don't know, what's that thing at 15 miles a gallon? Great, it's fine. It's a good car. Not vilifying. I'm just saying. Okay, we'll do that. Got a 2019 Corvette Grand Sport. Let's use it. It's kind of a modern car. I got my neighbor's Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, to be fair. They're all rear-wheel drive. And I got accelerometers and GPS. So next day I did it. Ran the Viper a few times, like 4.8 seconds. Tire's a little older. Ran this 4.61 seconds. The Grand Sport was also 4.61 seconds. And the Tesla Model 3, the best it could do was 4.6 flat, 1/100th of a second. And it progressively got slower as the charge went down, because I did it with full charge, to be fair. So I'm like, okay, so it's as fast as the Tesla is. It's getting 104 miles a gallon. It's like a cheap recyclable car. Something would be like $20,000 on the market. So then I thought about it, and I'm like, hey, what's the carbon footprint of burning 1 gallon of diesel? EPA's got numbers. Cool. This isn't going to be too hard to math. Like, how many kilowatt hours of electricity does it take to make a Tesla go a certain distance? Okay. What's the carbon footprint of generating a kilowatt hour of electricity, national average in the U.S.? Now, I'm not even taking into consideration losses and all that, but just, let's just look at this, compare it here. My car on straight diesel has a lower carbon footprint per mile than a Tesla does when charged at home, and it's cheaper to drive per mile, and we have the infrastructure. Period. Okay, and it's affordable. So right then and there, the entire leftist narrative on EVs being better for the environment, I crushed it. Now, okay, we can argue, maybe there's going to be better battery technology in the future. Yeah, well, that's not now. What do we got now? Mm-hmm. I can't afford that car. Why can anybody else? Also, I don't like all this government control of autonomous cars where you're pushing it to be where if all the cars can be self-driving and you don't even own your own property anymore, because that is where everything's being pushed. Guess what? You in a car is nothing more than a physical manifestation of the algorithm driving wherever it wants you to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm not okay with that kind of world, because who controls that? Not the people, because we're basically, if you talk about the nature of propaganda, young people not being able to know what the world is anymore, being able to question
That's a big
things.
problem.
Yeah. You ever seen the old sci-fi THX 1138? It was one of George Lucas's early films.
Mm-mm.
It's a really good one. Basically, everybody lives underground. There's this sort of like Jesus-like figure that's a picture that's always talking to everybody. Everybody's on meds. If you go off your meds, they come and get you. Everybody's building some sort of working in a nuclear factory, and everything is programmed and manufactured and propagandized. And the one dude stops taking, it's Robert Duvall, actually. It's a really good film. In the early days, he stops taking his meds, starts having a relationship that's unauthorized with this woman. And there's this big escape scene in the end. It's actually Lola T70 race cars from the 60s, kind of duded up, and dudes on motorcycles, and they're escaping from a tunnel. And the end of the movie's climbing out of this tunnel to the surface.
Wasn't there a remake of that with Leonardo DiCaprio or some shit?
I don't know, but the original
where they all wore the same outfits, like a jumpsuit?
Maybe, but I got to be honest, the original THX 1138 is powerful and it still holds up.
Yeah.
Not a lot of dialogue, so it's real vibey, but it holds up, man. And so the Omega car, it just throws all that for a loop. And okay, that's the one car I built. I built it as a sports car. I realized that people need things like trucks and four-door cars. But here's the other reality of the world. If I built that and it was ugly or it was some boxy or just some dumb thing, nobody care. It needs to be a sexy sports car for people to get it a little bit. Because, I can use those same design and engineering philosophies and various materials.
Well, that's how Tesla got attention, too. People don't remember that. Mm-hmm. Tesla actually made a cool first car.
Well, and they didn't even really make the car. That was a Lotus Elise that was rebodied and electrified. And it wasn't Elon's company to start with. He technically didn't found Tesla. He founded Tesla. You know what I mean? He bought into it, was smart, and knew where to take it. But so there's a direction to go. So last year I tested it, got the numbers, and spoke out. And I spoke out on what I thought about politics and who to vote for and why. So, and here we are. We're talking about it, guys. So
you ended up being you've been on Tucker and some other shit
Tucker
too.
Was super cool.
Yeah,
a friend of mine, had. I don't know, shared me his contact one day. It's like, you should have this. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? Just call up Tucker? I'm not going to, and one day I'm thinking, I'm just going to text him, and it was one of those things where it's efficient. It's like, here's who I am. This is where I'm coming from. I respect you and your privacy. This is where I got the number. Here's a couple things I've done. Here's why I think they matter. A little bit more. And it's like, I have no ask of you other than, there's too much at stake out there. Here's what I'm working for. And if you ever in the future you see a resonant way for, me to affect positive change or just share this, I'm all for it. Thanks and appreciate what you're doing. Here's some pictures. Just put my cards on the table and then 3 hours later forgot about it. And dude texted me back the next.
It's funny how well that works.
Well, I'm just being real.
I know.
And respectful.
I know.
Here's what, like, I don't want
I'm not trying to get
from
anything.
you.
Here's what I have.
respect you.
If there's a place for me,
I've
keep
done
in
real
mind.
stuff. You know, it's like it's hat in hand. It's old school manners. That's the way it is. And, he owes me nothing. Like nothing at all. Right? Polite. And so next day text back and I'm like, what the? Oh, cool. You know, and he was totally personable and he's like, wow, those are really charming pictures. Because I sent a couple pictures, just, you know, like I would. Like, hey, I'm a real guy. You know? And
you sent him some nudes?
No feet pics?
Yeah, no feet pics. Yeah. You're pretty surprised how far that goes. No, it's just a picture of, like, I don't know, me and family out to dinner, stay on a boat. Like this picture here of the car you got shown up. You know, just that. Just a little something to validate. It's like, hey, I'm real. Check up on me. I know you know 1,000
Nigerian
people
prince.
who can look into me or whatever. Anyway, so next day does that, sends me a screenshot of like watching one of my videos there and whatnot. He's like, totally cool. Yeah, I'd love to. Let's do a show on efficient diesel or something sometime. I'm like, cool. And it was crazy because later I realized dude was just straight texting me like a normal guy. It's like 3 hours before he did Madison Square Garden with Trump and Elon and everybody back then. So it's cool. You know, it's cool. Everybody's a real person at the end of the day. Yeah. You know, you just, there's ways to be a real person to everybody. You know what I mean?
Dude, 100%, man.
Yeah,
sure, man.
Yeah. So no, it was a thing, and it's important. And I also think, just as another note, and jump in any time. Don't mean to just take
keep
away
going.
the mic.
Yeah,
I really do care about young people going somewhere.
Yeah,
you know, and I need more mentorship. I was so thankful to have the family that I did. You know, my dad worked hard. Okay. Hard. People don't think it because it's a golf course. I always got made fun of as a kid. Like, hey,
no,
it's a
bro.
rich kid with your
That's
polo
a
shirt.
ton of work.
I'm like, dude, this is a farm that goes 24/7 in front of the public with thousands of people coming. There's a liquor license. We have to maintain all this machinery, everything. This is insane. They don't get it. You're just a rich kid, right? But anyway, so young people, you got to find a way. You got to find somewhere to go. My granddad was amazing. My great uncle, you know, he flew F-4 Phantoms in Vietnam. Was an amazing guy. Amazing stories. I had strong men in that regard. So I was fortunate to have that. But not everybody has that. Not everybody has anything else. And the internet time's crazy. So I just I think about that sort of thing.
I do too.
You know, and you know, I have my own passions in love. I love race cars, build them, love cars and things like that. But it's perspective. You know, I've got some really nice things. I always like some nicer ones or some more adventures, but at the same time too, that isn't life.
Right.
And with the Omega car, I just saw the change that needed to happen in the world. I knew I could do something that's better. It's just an example, and then talk about it. And we got to do that. And fortunately, I had, I guess, just enough traction or just enough open doors to be able to do that. And that gets in actual real world things to the popular, you know, consensus to talk about it. Because not only is it like breaks the narrative of the left ED thing, which is only about control, period. Only about control for nobody, not the world, not any nation's best interest, global control. Which I am so.
That makes you want, like, so what do you have in mind that you need that kind of control? You see what I'm saying?
One world government.
I know that.
My grandfather warned me about
But people
this
don't ask
for
those
decades.
questions, bro. They don't ask the question. They just simply say, oh, you're crazy. That's not real. That is real.
It's real as hell. I had an ex-girlfriend, and this is girlfriend once, ex-girlfriend. I remember saying the United States can never fall, and she was adamant. I'm like, are you serious? Like, if we don't stand up, protect, and do things, like, what will we have left? She was absolutely 100% in the belief and complicity that nothing will ever change, and we're okay, it doesn't matter. And
It's been changing for 100 years.
Dangerous.
The goal is incremental change, so subtle that nobody notices.
Correct.
That is
1,000 cuts.
That is the communist method, and this has been happening for over 100 years.
Yeah.
That's what people don't understand.
And you see it in every aspect of just our life. And you talk about culture now. Like, we were driving the other day going down to AB, but like just innovation, architecture. Like, if you just compare the two in just a short span, look how much has changed. And
I mean,
it's almost disgusting at a point.
Oh, listen, dude, that's brutalism is a tactic of communism.
For sure.
Okay,
to beat you down, beat down your culture, beat down the beauty,
correct.
beat down the inspiration.
People don't understand what that means. Like when you guys go to Europe, if you've ever been to Europe,
oh yeah,
you will walk up and down the street, and you will see buildings that are 1,000 years old, one after the other, after the other, after the other, and they're all beautiful.
Yes.
And there's modern stores. There's a Louis Vuitton in a 1,000-year-old building.
Yeah.
There's a coffee shop in a 1,500-year-old building. Okay. Here, obviously, we're only 250 years old next year. But there's still beautiful buildings that have been constructed here. Lots of them. Mm-hmm. And the reason that most of the shit looks the way it does now, you guys think, oh, it's efficiency, it's this, it's that. No, the building codes have actually been altered to the point where it's almost impossible to build something beautiful for the reason of demoralization of culture. And that's called brutalism. That is what that's about. It's a real tactic.
True. Well, the other place they did it is through universities.
Yeah.
And see, I was around industrial design, which is centered in fine arts. And actually, both of my parents went to fine art in the 70s too. And so I kind of saw this. And I'm like, why is it all the classic things are beautiful? Why is it that, to be a Dutch master or at the Paris Salon in the late 1800s, you had to be an absolute unbelievable master of light and form and color. Yet now idiots can throw stuff at a canvas and make up some story and people like it. And the more
Take a hot dog to the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it literally is communism and an influence. And a lot of these people in the 20th century, there's even some crazy things because, we get into the nature of the CIA and such, which is probably the most evil entity in the world, an influence to change and make that over. But what I'm saying is art changing and modern art of the 20th century is a manifestation literally of communism.
Yes.
It's destroyed everything good and beautiful. And I'll just say this. Okay. I'll give you that there could be some modern art out there that is avant-garde and thought-provoking and interesting and really is making a statement.
It's ignored intentionally.
Correct. But here's the thing.
This is why I asked you about why you couldn't get your shit written.
You've got a good point. It's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good. But here's the thing. If an artist isn't technically good, if you can't be like a Dutch master before you do that, I don't care about your hoo-hoo stuff if you don't have technicality, because I don't know if this is any good. And you're right about that. It's being purposely ignored. I'll give you an example. This is the first one that comes to my head. I'm sorry if it's not the best one in the world, but I'll just say it. So, growing up, I always loved racing. It was the thing I was best at. I know cars. I know building. I'm athletic. I'm good. I have little seat time, but I'm fast. I do my own thing with vintage racing, drive some big cars, and always wanted a professional race. Grew up loving Indy cars. So you always dream of doing that. But there's no road there. So after a while, you eventually kind of give up on your dream because you weren't connected enough. You weren't born wealthy. There's nowhere to practice. You can't afford a car to get in. It's just not going to happen. That's not your sport. Respectfully, there's other sports that are a little more,
It's the most expensive. It's the most expensive sport you can participate in.
Correct. So whether myself or even 50 other young people
don't understand.
Best,
like to be a racer for real. They either have to go like the Lewis Hamilton's dad's route where he gives up everything.
Correct. And he was brought on by McLaren in the early days and made.
But even what most people think rich people are, they can't afford a race.
No. You need to be able to just vaporize large sums of money, but unless it's a business related thing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and I want to bring this up relating to the media not working. So this is something that I learned. And anybody can say whatever they want and fight me for. This is the experience I had. When I started becoming big on, YouTube with my own channel, Ben Wiki and stuff, I looked at numbers. I'm like, wow, these are crazy numbers. And then I looked at the viewership numbers of the IndyCar series, where I always wanted to be, and Indy 500, in-person spectators, TV, internet, the world over. And the one year when I was hitting it hard, just my videos alone were viewed more than the entirety of the Indy series worldwide on all their platforms. My videos alone. And then it clicked one day. I go, wait a minute. Okay, well, I think that might mean I have a ticket to do something, because if I had somebody's support and we did some driving and, ended up getting a drive, well, that team's going to have more exposure than anybody else.
Yeah.
So this should work. And I tried for a number of years. It didn't work. And I learned that the entirety of the racing industry is different than what it's purported to be. You don't work your way up into it. It's
buy
a club.
your way into it. That's
correct. Right. It's a club, and that's okay. But Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR, it's structured in a way that it's a club for purpose. Whether you're doing it for fun and you can buy your way in, or whether it's business entities coming in a way together. Coletta, major top fuel team, right? They have Coletta Airlines and DHL coming in as partners, and it works out for all of them to be their club thing to do business, and that works, and that's perfectly fine. But young people need to know that that's the reality of it. But there was something else. And I'm not going to say what series or who, because I don't want to do that, but I would talk to series presidents or leaders or PR people and whatnot. The PR people avoid me like the plague. They want me to go away. And that didn't make sense to me. I'm like, let's work together, man. they don't want to work with me because I threaten them too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you
much of a
tell you, dude.
And then
No
I'm
shit.
Like, and
You
I
don't
say to like the president of the series or something, I'm like, man, let's work together. Like, just let me be like kind of like a positive inside agent. I just need to be part of your whole deal. Let's do this together. They don't want to do it. I'm like, this makes no sense,
bro.
But it throws off the power structure. And that's why I'm like, and I would try to tell people, like, if we just do this, we'll own the whole series.
Dude, trust me.
You know what I'm talking about? And that's the way it is with the rest of the way.
We have a top 20 global podcast. And you know how many times I've been invited to be on the media? 0.
No, they don't want you.
That's
You're
right, because I'll burn their ass.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
I know.
It's true. So then the thing is, then the conundrum is, then you get, you're saying real things, you get all frustrated, but then you got to find the people to put it together to actually change the world, which then you have the opportunity to do. But you're exactly right. You can be, even if you're ready to work together, it's like, hey, let's just do it together. Let's just be a team. They don't want you. Even if it's such a small-minded thing, everybody wants to protect their little job and the status quo and the way it is. It's like, look, man, I'm not trying to wreck it. You keep your job. Let's just do more. Let's do something better. They don't want to do it. And I don't like that kind of insecure, weak personality type.
Yeah, it's gatekeeping. It's bullshit.
No, it's total bullshit. It's like, look, I am not the best at any one thing.
It's trying to protect the narrative, bro. It's just, it happens in racing. It happens in, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in business. It's just, it's cowardly. Like I'm afraid of the truth. I want to put this narrative out, and anything that is going to be an argument to that narrative is not allowed.
Yeah, right.
And dude, that's very dangerous in society, because what that creates is a situation where no one ever knows the truth.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Well, and it also can't continue. Eventually, it will die.
Yeah.
So, and that goes with everything.
Well, we see it. Look at the media. Look at the ratings.
Oh, 100%. It's
Like,
an
dude,
absolute joke.
Yeah. Nobody's watching these mainstream channels anymore, except like people that are
nursing homes that just leave.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
The scariest thing now, I got to be straight with you, with how powerful AI is.
I know.
And
you
the
never
ability
know what
to
the fuck
flood
is
the
real.
internet. Obama said a while back ago, one tactic is to just, it's as he put it, and it's kind of negative. I don't think he should have said this. But the tactic is kind of like the metaphor is flood the city streets with sewage so much that nobody knows what anything is anymore. And the AI will be able to do that. Nobody's going to know what's what or what to do anymore. And that's why, in a way,
it's intentional, dude.
Oh, it is.
And AI has existed for much longer than what they say it has.
Correct.
It was unleashed to the public when it was intentionally as part of the World Economics Forum's Great Reset agenda.
Social programming.
Yes, to confuse, to further demoralize and destabilize everything.
Correct.
Okay, so dude, it's really bad because it's Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Because once it's open, you can't put it back in, and this is a problem. And the only hope we have for AI to not become that level of a problem is if the FCC figures out how to badge or make them call out. But the attorneys that are in office, if they don't make some sort of regulation around it, they're going to fuck their entire profession up.
Yeah, and I got to be honest right now, something I saw that
and Trump just put something through so you can't do anything to it for 10 years.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, so are you in on this, bro?
No, exactly. Okay, so I'm going to go off on a little try right now. I'm a big Trump supporter.
I am too.
I voted for him. That's the way we had to go. Okay, great. Go all the way. However,
no, you could still criticize Trump.
Yeah. Unregulated AI for 10 years
it's absurd.
Is the end.
No, it's the end, bro.
Is the end. And so here's the thing I don't like. I'm just going to say it too. So tech bros, right? Let's look at the tech bros that do it, and I'm gonna pick on it. JD Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy. Look at their background. Like, okay, JD Vance, I like him well enough. He's put on well. He did a great job at the debates and everything like that. Yeah, he's manufactured. Okay, he's manufactured. The storyline is too succinct and perfect all the way up there, and you look at who supports him. Vivek Ramaswamy, manufactured. I mean, he got his college scholarship money from the Soros family. Look it up.
Yeah, no,
okay?
it's true.
And then
he was on the show. He talked about it.
Was he really?
Yeah.
So then you buy the rights to a pharmaceutical drug that
I asked him about that when he was on the show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, failed its first test. Then you build a business to promote that as a possible help and direction to go for Alzheimer's. You build a business around it. Hits a market cap of over $1 billion. He cashes out at a certain point with 130 some million dollars. Of course, it doesn't work and go out of the window. I'm sorry, but I look at this at the level of people can work in the billionaire class and such, and I go, this is manufactured, and that's the way to make somebody the whole way up. And I don't like it. And the nature of, so then, he's going to run for president, even though he doesn't even get as many votes as Krispy Kreme Christie. And then he just backs out and instantaneously backs Trump's with all his same talking points, even though he hasn't lived that life before. He just has all the talking points. And then he hires all the people left over from Trump's 2016 campaign, thinking he's going to dovetail in as VP. Maybe. Seems like it. And then, but he's not the VP pick, but his buddy J.D. Vance is, and he's going to get appointed to Doge. Awesome. We need Doge. Great. But then right at the end, something seems wrong and he's out of Doge, going to run for Ohio governor, when Doge, I argue, is way more important. That's like the most important thing we can do with a nation now. So Elon's doing that all himself while he's going to run for governor. Yet Ramaswamy is there talking about, we're going to make the Ohio River Valley like the next Silicon Valley. Why? Because it's got enough cooling for all the infrastructure and computer systems and stuff. That's what you want to do. You want to exploit Ohio when there's nothing Ohio about you. You didn't go to school here. You don't have any businesses here. You've done no philanthropy here. There's nothing Ohio about him. And then he goes on I'm on a rant. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm keeping a rant. I'm going to keep going. So then he's on another podcast and talking about, and I appreciate this, if you legally immigrate to the United States, legally, and you care about the United States, because we're all different, we're going to make our way for some sort of cultural, philosophical thing, awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
We are fellow Americans.
Agree.
There is a but. And he danced all over and stomped all over it. He was saying, they were laughing about how, well, being American's not about how many family members you have buried in the Kentucky cemetery and how far back it goes. You know what? Bull fucking shit.
Well, that's not
in
a
a
very
way.
smart
Okay,
thing to say.
we're all
No, dude.
I'm just let me.
No,
let me
you're
keep,
right.
Let me keep rolling here. Let me cook. Okay,
but that doesn't make. You don't have to have that to be American.
No, you don't have to have
but
it.
It does mean
matter.
something. That's right.
You know, my great grandfather blew the bugle in the cavalry way back when. It still has the bugle. My grandfather's Battle of Okinawa, World War II, Ohio State University, 1950 GI Bill. Went to Little Sydney, Ohio, as an optometrist. My grandmother, when she died, they were married 74 years.
Yeah.
Okay, like I still sometimes wear my granddad's high school class ring that he wore through the Pacific. I still have his Bible that he was reading in a cave, sitting on a cadaver of the enemy, polishing his bullets, wondering if he's going to get out of it. Like, I still have that. His younger brother, nuclear B-52s during Cold War circling the polar ice cap, and then F-4 Phantoms in Vietnam, barely coming out of that, supersonic, taking shots, about getting his neck tweaked to try to avoid stuff getting up. This is what I got raised in. You know, my family built their business. Like, we never went on vacations. My dad worked his ass off. And then 2008, financial crisis came on, changed everything because Washington, just greed and stupidity. Mm-hmm. And now the golf course that was part of Tiffin, Ohio, has been plowed under since then. Like everything being ruined for it. Yeah, my family has fought and lived in the United States of America and Ohio. And yeah, they're buried in Kentucky and Arlington National Cemetery and Dayton National Cemetery and around here. And I'm still here fighting, building nonprofits, racing, businesses and all. And we have a guy like this manufactured by billionaires pretending he's Ohio when doing nothing. And I hate that. And I love Trump, but there's something so wrong about what's going on here that's not in it. It's the same crap that's trying to bring us unregulated AI.
I'm totally with you on it. Like, I get.
Thank you for that.
No, I listen, I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. Yeah. And actually hearing that, you and I are very similar. My dad never even met his real dad. My dad's real dad was killed in France 6 months to the day after surviving storming the beach on D-Day.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
He was 20 years old. My dad's dad never even met him.
Yeah.
Never saw my dad grow up. Never saw him start a business. Never saw him do anything. Never saw my brother go play professional baseball. Never saw us build these companies. Like, bro, that shit matters to me.
Yeah, man.
And people are like, well, why do you care so much how everybody else lives their life? Because we have an obligation to do the best that we can, and you don't take it serious.
Exactly right.
You think that the freedom that we have is about sitting on the couch eating Doritos, watching Netflix. Oh, that's my choice. Yes, it is, but it's a shitty one because other people have paid for you to have an opportunity, and you're setting an example for everybody else that comes behind you or around you or next to you to say, I don't have to contribute at all. It doesn't matter what I do, and it does matter because guess what? The rest of us who are out here doing all of this stuff to try and contribute and make the country better got to live with the result of your shit. 100%. Okay, so I'm going to take an interest in it. And dude, that is what this country is supposed to be. 100%. This country is supposed to be filled with men and women who realize that we are blessed to have what we have and that we are stewards of this. We are not owners of this country. We don't own shit. We're here for a little bit and then we're dead. And while we're here, we should do the best that we can so that people will be here when we're dead, have the same opportunities that we had. And that's disappearing by the day here.
Exactly.
And dude, when we talk about what's going on with AI and Trump saying, 10 years.
Game over.
Dude, do you understand what that means? I don't think he understands what the fuck it means.
No, not at all. That is game over. That is Orwellian game over, overpower everything. And I got to throw this in there too. So everybody on YouTube has ever gotten jealous. Oh, I see you in a fancy car. Oh, you got an orange Murcielago.
Yeah,
or
so
what? You know what all that means? You know what that is? That's all the people that fought and worked and blood, sweat, and goddamn tears to make this happen. The only reason I'm doing that, what that actually shows is everything goes back. That's why I hate so much when Vivek says some crap like that. He doesn't care. He never did.
Well, he himself by saying that, bro.
No, screw him. I mean, no, really. So on behalf of Ohio, screw him.
Yeah, but bro, there was a lot of people. I like Vivek. There was a lot of people. I know him personally. I like him. There's a lot of people that feel that way after he said those things.
Well, it just goes to show. It doesn't mean he can't learn. Doesn't mean he can't do something.
I will say this.
Come on.
I have said my share of dumb shit. All right. So I have a little bit of grace for it.
And so my fire right now comes from, I'll just say this one thing.
I think you're perfectly justified.
Orange Murcielago, people see that, you want to get jealous, think about something else. Like, I actually have to work and caretake that for the future. And the only reason it exists is because all the people that came before me, family, community, everybody around, everybody who shaped me in some way, old guys telling stories, putting forth those values for the future. That's why we can have this beautiful land and opportunities and nice things. So, and that's why I'm here being able to talk to you.
What are you doing with it? That's the thing. What are you doing with what you have? You may not have had all the exact same opportunities, but you had opportunities. And not only that, none of us start at the same place. It's not about where the fuck you end up. It's about the ground covered, okay? You might have started very, very low. There is millions of people who have started less than you who would have done way more than you.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not about having $1 million or $10 million or $1 billion. It's about what the f did you do with your life, bro? Right. How hard did you try? What standard did you keep? How much did you pour into the next generation? And people will say, well, you don't have kids. You don't understand. No, I know, but you have kids and you're fat as f and you lay on the couch all day and you don't do shit and you act like you're raising them when in reality you're not raising shit. They're on a iPad, they're on video games, they're not learning anything, and you say, well, you don't know what it's like. No, I do know what it's like because I've had to raise thousands of other people's kids who were raised that way. And the truth of the matter is some of them are never going to recover from it. They're never going to learn what reality is about.
Correct.
Okay? And like, dude, if we're going to have a country that is great, every single person has to understand that you have a very important role in that.
Yeah.
The most important role. People say, well, I don't have a podcast. I don't have a YouTube. I don't have a this. Okay. If your voice doesn't matter, if your voice is irrelevant, then why the f do they try so hard to censor you?
Great point.
Why do they try to get you to not talk about certain things? Why do they scare you with cancel culture? By the way, where did cancel culture come from? It didn't exist when you and I were kids.
No, it didn't.
Okay? It's a cultural weapon designed to silence you. And if you think that your voice doesn't matter, then ask yourself why trillions of dollars are allocated for propaganda and tools such as bots and fake traffic on the internet to scare you into not talking. Why during COVID were we not allowed to go to bars? Because the seeds of revolution are sown in taverns, okay? They don't want you saying this. Hey, this is up. What do you think? I think it's fucked up too. No, they want you to wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, not talk to each other. And bro, because everybody went along with it, it worked. When 90% of the were doing this shit. Hey man, how'd you get away without wearing that mask? I don't know. I just didn't wear it. What do you mean you didn't? Like, bro, I don't know how to explain this to you. I just didn't wear it. You know, like dude, we got a courage problem in the country.
Yeah. Well,
it's the truth.
In a crazy sort of way, maybe that was the big wake-up call that everybody needed because we got way too complacent.
They went way too hard there.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I noticed. In 2020, I said the one thing that maybe will save America is they went too hard and lit the afterburner.
Yeah.
If they would have been a little smoother and slower, it might have worked. But all of a sudden you hear this big concussion. Whoa, this is not natural. And then look at it in the last few years. I'm just going to say it. So like, all right, what's the first thing that we can exploit? Let's go the division between black and white. Oh, it's everything related to Ferguson. And we're going to do that. Okay, well, that's waning. Trans people, rainbow community. Wait, that's starting to waning. Anti-Semitism, Jews, Israel. So what's next?
Now it's Mexicans.
Oh, Mexicans? Oh, is that the thing now?
Yeah, now that is the thing. Now it's Mexicans. If you're against illegal migrants, like, bro, you know how many messages?
They're illegal. Get out. Go home.
Bro, you know how many messages I got from people who follow us that are Mexican in the last 3 or 4 days? Tons. And they're all saying the same thing. Bro, that doesn't represent us, man. Yes, I know, bro. I know.
Yeah,
you're an American. I'm an American. Just because you come from there and my family comes from over there doesn't mean we're not both American, bro.
Exactly.
And all these dudes are reaching out and they're like, bro, it's, everybody thinks it. I said, no, here's what the we don't want. We don't want these third world that came across the border at a rate of 98% men for the military age men for the last 4 years. This has nothing to do with Jose that lives down the street that, his whole family's been here for 20 years. That is not what people are upset about. What people are upset about is third world savages that eat our ducks out of the pond and rape our women. And dude, but my point is that's the next.
But they only, and I'm air quoting, protest in the big Democratic cities: L.A., Portland, Chicago, New York, you name it. Give me a break. That's because it's the only place. You know the song "Try That in a Small Town." Yeah, try that in a small town and see how fast you get laid out.
Yeah, dude, it's true, bro. Yeah. And not only that, did you see? I had a buddy of mine who was at the protest. He actually got shot with some rubber bullets.
Yeah,
and I was talking to him last night. He's like, "Yeah, hurt, man." but he was out there. He wasn't protesting. He was just like watching what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I said, "Well, how was it?" And he's like, "Bro," he's like, "People are crazy." And I said, "Well, who is it out there?" And he's like, "It's like all the gangbangers and all the hood rats.
Yeah, the looters.
Yeah. And then all the purple hairs, and which is the people we said it was on Tuesday.
Well, and then it's funny because then you get the theater of like Gavin Newsom and old Karen Bass, and like, this is all because of Trump. No, it's not, actually.
Yeah.
You're a horrible leader.
Yeah.
Your state is a joke. You can't take care of anything, and you're being exploited. You're not being exploited because you know this is how it is.
Yeah.
This is what you want. Screw your communist revolution or whatever the hell this is at this point. It just no.
Bro, I think most people, like real talk, I think they are in deep shit.
Oh, they are.
The Democrats?
Yes.
It's in shambles.
Most people are like
that's dangerous in of itself.
It is. Thank you for saying that.
Dude. It's dangerous. Super dangerous because I saw 30 videos on the internet yesterday of like the hillbilly crowd.
They're coming out.
They're my people, bro.
Yeah.
All right. They're just short of the s'mores party people.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. A couple of blocks before.
That's right. But they're still good. They're good.
For sure.
They're not racist. They're just regular Americans. These are ready to go.
Oh, they're ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to let's get into it because it's actually our first headline for the cruise is these riots. But it's also dangerous, bro, because if the left knows that they're done, right? They're at that point where I think they're willing to do anything.
Accurate.
And you can't, like, that's the scary thing for me. And on top of that, the shit's being exposed way faster than it was,
Correct.
Let's say George Floyd riots or Mike Brown riots. Like, it's happening way faster. Like, we just talked about this dude on the last CTI we just covered. The guy was
gas masks
pulled up in a fucking truck passing out these bionic shield masks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just got him. They just got him.
Ooh,
they literally
fast.
just arrested him. Took him right out of his fucking house. His name is Alejandro Theodoro yes.
Now, are they going to take it all the way up the line and arrest the one Walton woman that seems to maybe be selling and promoting that? I heard that.
They should.
Was that a thing?
They should.
That's a real thing. She is doing that.
She is.
So how far are we going to take this up the pole?
Should all the way.
Well, I got to...
Every that gives $1 to any of this shit should be in jail.
Yeah.
The illegal stuff, like the
Yes.
not just. Now, here's the thing I got to say about the Democrat Party. If it's in shambles, that's actually bad. Look, everything that party has become, I loathe. Okay, they were completely exploited, radicalized, not American, bad. But we can't have a one-party system. That's worse.
That's dangerous too.
Right, because I started thinking about, and I told you about the things I don't like about this unregulated AI. I don't like these billionaire manufactured darlings that come in place. That's worse, because that is usurping the American government and finding the foibles by billionaires that can do it. Not good. And I think to myself, what do? You run against it? Well, no, they already bought the whole party. Well, what about the Democrat? Oh, God, I can't do that. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, America is pretty robust. It was a pretty damn good system across the board, but there's ways to exploit it slowly, and it's not good,
No.
And the other thing I have to point out relating to this guy you're saying about things that can happen real fast, they can find it. That's the danger about AI, because then you get into thought crime territory. Okay, so freedom of speech. Is freedom of speech whether you damn well like it or not because we want it. Second Amendment is there in case the government goes rogue.
Bro,
you can stop it. But if I say, because I posted something on Instagram the other day, I went shooting at the range. I had my 300 blackout, my 5.56 there, and I
you know what
I was
those
kind
are?
of joking, but my
Do you
AR
know what those
platform
are?
rifles.
Yeah, I know what those are.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Better.
Just making sure.
Wait. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I know you can't shoot. I didn't know if you knew nothing about guns.
All right.
Well, I posted something that's on the line but reasonable, and I said, and I put in parentheses, I put that picture up, and I put the song, the old whistling Yankee Doodle Dandy like Revolutionary War, and I said in parentheses, tens of millions of Americans 5 minutes after looking at the news, and I said, there's grass to touch out there and families to raise. Washington, get your shit together. Hashtag, this is not cool. This is not good. We don't want this. And part of the reason I did that is because I don't want people saying like, oh, he's a thought crime radical and it's going to go on. No, I'm not. So the CIA, FBI, Mossad, whatever that wants to set me up, go f*** yourself.
I'm a thought crime radical. I argue with ChatGPT about these things, and I always make it admit that I was right. That way, if it ever
good.
That way, if they ever go through my dialogue, they could say,
smart
well,
court records.
Motherfucker, it said I was right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a while.
But anyway, I just want to say that about things being too fast, too far, because then we end up in the bad sci-fi.
No, listen, dude. Look, bro. Here's where I'm at. Leave us the alone. Run the Constitution the way it's supposed to be run. Hold everybody to the same level of accountability. Our taxes need to go way the fuck down. Our spending needs to get in check. That's a different conversation. We cannot continue to call America a free country when we're paying 60% of our money back to the government. Yeah. That's not freedom. No. But that's a different conversation.
Correct.
The point is, we're tired of the chaos. We want to get along. We want America to be what we have always known American to be, which is a multicultural America.
Correct.
That is fine. But we have an American culture that you are expected to somewhat abide by.
Right.
And we want low crime. We want to be able to go out to dinner in our cities that are paid for by our tax dollars without getting carjacked. Okay. These are real things that we all want. And that's not an exclusive want that white people want. Black people want that too.
Everybody wants that.
Yes. But they make us think that is some sort of discriminatory thought. It's, look, bro, go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Like, if our country looked like that, I wouldn't have a problem with any of this shit at all. Nobody would say anything.
Although they get a little too serious about speed limits for my taste in Dubai.
Yeah.
I love everything else. But
Well, they're not cutting heads off and shit, are they?
I didn't see any of that.
No, it's automatic tickets.
They got a
though.
couple other things that need to be thought
Like
about.
you speed, it automatically just deducts from
Look,
your bank
dude,
account.
we
Yeah,
should be
it's a little
we
different.
should be dealing with violent crime harshly.
Human trafficking. Thank you.
Harshly. These people should be put to death.
Yes, please. Hanging. We
Yeah.
need to hang people.
Bro, a big problem in our society.
Military actually, I'm talking a fair
I
trial and
understand.
hanging in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. A big problem in our society is that nobody fears the law anymore in any real way.
Correct.
If violent criminals were dealt with in a way, because right now there used to be this thing where, maybe they didn't do it. Okay. And that's fine. 20 years ago, there wasn't cameras everywhere. There wasn't everybody recording everything. There wasn't the technology. People didn't have cell phones in their pocket that tracked every place they went. There weren't license plate readers on every stop sign. We're pretty certain who did what at this point.
Yep.
And there are times where maybe they committed smartly. Maybe they didn't carry a cell phone. Maybe they went in an analog car. Maybe they did some other things that they could do to get away with. And maybe if you can't prove it, then they shouldn't be dealt with that way. But if they're caught on camera and all this shit, like most of them are now, these people should know that in like 2 weeks' time, you're going into the wood chipper. And if that were to happen, we wouldn't have any crime.
No. Well, I mean, dude, it's even like the riots and shit going on right now. Like, here's some people that are doing this shit up in Austin.
And by the way, 4 of the 5 of them are white.
Mm-hmm. And 5
who said that 2 days ago?
And 5 out of 5 of them got released on $0 bail.
Yeah,
within 24 hours. Yeah. These are the people burning down the fucking cities and stuff.
Look at the girl smiling. She is living in an alternate reality.
Casey, you can't assume.
I'm gonna. Okay, look at this feminine dude with no Adam's apple and a shitty mullet smiling. He's in an alternate reality.
That's a they them.
Yeah, that's
a they them.
Those are all they thems.
They gotta be with that smile there.
Look at them smiling.
They're all they thems. Look at this guy. He's got mascara on.
Are you sure you just get clock good? Well, no, it's a little David Bowie and Black.
Here's some more from Texas.
They're what?
Now, here's an interesting thing. So this was Texas. Okay. But
wait, that's the same guy from the other one.
Yeah, that's a great thing you called out. How the fuck did he get from Texas to Seattle within 48 hours?
Same way we talked about.
Wow. It's organized.
Yeah.
It's organized.
Course, yeah. Well,
and that's the thing. Like, I saw this comment. We had this comment coming on YouTube. I'm sorry, Andy, but you are very wrong on this one to think that.
No, I'm not.
The nation.
You're wrong.
You're wrong to think.
Yeah, listen, bro, I'm pretty successful in life. I've won at everything I've ever touched.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't read into things 4 levels deep.
Follow the money. Okay,
you're wrong to think.
I get tired of these people that say, "Oh, you're wrong." No, I'm not wrong. I'm actually, like, real talk, I'm very rarely wrong about anything, and that's not a character fault. It's that I don't open my mouth unless I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Good point.
Is that true or not?
Yeah, well, they're saying...
You better say that because I fucking pay you.
I'll back you up even.
Yeah. But, like, bro, these dudes, like, sit in their basement and...
Look at the name. You don't even know it's a real person or AI.
This might be a really good person or whatever, but, like, at some point, dude, you got to look around at your life and say, how smart am I really? Because if you were, it wouldn't look like that.
It wasn't even about that. You don't even have to... You just... Let's wake up, look at things objectively, and realize this is not organic. This is not actual reality.
Have some compassion and humanity for once. What the fuck are you talking about? What? Okay, I'm going to read this.
Read the whole
I'm
comment.
sorry, Andy, but you are very wrong on this one to think that nationwide protests are being funded by George Soros. It's quite ridiculous. Why can't you look at the fact that we are treating humans like animals? Have some compassion and humanity for once. Do those have any compassion and humanity for the women that they are raping and killing from all over the country? Okay? I'm over it. Okay? You're right. I have no compassion for it. I'm not going to sit here. I'm a victim of violent crime, just so you know. I got stabbed in the face when I was 23 years old.
Damn.
Okay? I got stabbed 4 times.
Man.
3 times in the face and once in the back. What the experience do you have with real violence? Okay, I don't have compassion for violent human beings. I don't care if those people are rounded up that are violent and put into that's where they belong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but aside from all that, I'm actually a very compassionate person.
Big heart.
Okay, how many schools have you built? How many neighborhoods have you revitalized? How much have you done for people before you talk about me having compassion and humanity? You.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to point out the piece on the George Soros funding process here.
Yeah.
Because I guess,
person's 10 years old.
Yeah, it can't be true.
Well, the other thing is George Soros has made his fortune by destabilizing nations. You don't think he wasn't ruining hundreds and thousands and millions of lives in all of those nations? Sorry.
With our tax dollars.
Sinister.
With our tax dollars.
Yeah, no shit.
And our tax dollars,
bro,
yes.
100% our tax dollars.
Our tax dollars.
He didn't spend $1 of his own money.
USAID?
USAID gave it to his bro.
Jesus
it's crazy.
Christ, man.
Sinister George Soros anti-ICE plot emerges.
Oh, here comes the propaganda.
Amid LA riots as paid foreign agitators are finally exposed.
Wow.
Let's also go back and talk about...
I thought that was actually propaganda. This is real. They actually meant it. Usually when you see something like that, they're trying to discredit it.
No, it's real, man.
Wow.
It's real. Let's dive into it. You got the LA-based Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, or CHIRLA, is another group that's played a role in the protests that spiraled into face-offs with LAPD and federal agents raiding workplaces across the city. CHIRLA staged rallies in LA last week to denounce the ICE raids, which are said to be targeting criminals living in the U.S. illegally. Research by Palumbo and others showed how CHIRLA received tens of millions of dollars during the Biden administration, mostly from the state of California, but also $450,000 in grants from the Department of Homeland Security to provide citizenship education and training. Now,
air quote.
all of that has been cut, right? But the group also received more than $500,000 in 2023 alone from the Tides Foundation, which is the pass-through body that George Soros and Open Society Foundation uses to bankroll its progressive causes and activists. It is literally being funded by our taxpayers, our tax dollars, through these NGOs, in air quotes.
Listen, that person that made that comment is a moron.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sorry. You could say, "Oh, I love you, Andy," but well, dude, then you don't get it.
No,
you're not listening. You don't get it. Okay. This is happening. And for the record, just so we're clear, if you're not a legal immigrant, get the out.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you come from. We have to draw a line at some point in time. And we are to that point. If they want to go home and come back the way that this man has come here from India, the way this man has come here from Bosnia, I am 100% okay with that. If you are illegal, it's time to go so we can get our shit back together, and then we will figure out a way to bring the ones back that belong here, and the criminal ones.
Contribute. Yeah,
we can't. You're not those. Look, dude, I don't care. If you're illegal, you got to go, and that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
We can't differentiate between it anymore. People are like, "Oh, well, what about this guy who's been here for 20 years?"
No,
okay,
no, we don't. There's no time for this anymore.
Trump just passed an executive order this morning protecting people like that who have had a history of employment.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
I'm cool with that.
I'm fine with that. I am fine with that.
Yeah, yeah.
These other people got to go.
Got to go.
And it's not about Mexican people. Honestly, I don't really give a if one Mexican person is deported. I am actually talking about all the other countries. They're trying to turn this into a Mexico.
No, it's South America, Africa, China, you name it.
I know, bro, but
that's how they plant military-age men in the country.
I know, but listen, dude, this is why they're doing it. Because the second biggest population behind white people that voted for Trump is what? Hispanics.
Yeah, Mexicans.
Okay?
Latinos for Trump.
And here's the deal. They're also the second biggest population in the country next to white people.
Oh, that's the next division thing. You're right.
Correct. So what they're trying to do is I wouldn't be surprised if that that was on the motorcycle with the Mexican flag is propaganda.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Well, he's perfect.
Yeah, I know. The photo was perfect, bro.
Yeah.
We got professional photographers here that couldn't make that photo. Like,
he was also pretty good at riding motorcycles.
How do you do that with one hand?
An awfully nice dirt bike. I'm gonna be real.
No, bro. How do you drive a dirt bike
that big a flag
with that big a flag with one hand? You can't do it.
I'm good on a dirt bike.
You know how I know you can't do it? Because I try to make videos of me riding my dirt bike with one hand. And it's almost impossible. And I've been riding motorcycles since I was 8.
Dude, when I run my first big go-kart race and got to go ripping around with the checkered flag, just a damn checkered flag, 50 mile an hour, hard to hold, let alone that. That was practiced.
Those of you guys who ride dirt bikes have been riding your whole life. I've been riding my whole life. Take your cell phone with your left hand and try to ride your dirt bike. It's almost impossible, even for someone that knows how to ride.
That's tough, yeah.
So I'm very sure, I'm 90% sure that was a complete propaganda photo to create division between the two largest populaces of this country. And like, dude, we got to be smarter than that. Mm-hmm. We're getting sucked into this where, the Mexican guys, like when I have 30 Mexican dudes that follow us DMing me being like, bro, you don't hate it. No, dude. I don't even care. Like, I don't even care if they deport one from Mexico. They're trying to make it seem that way.
Right.
But really, what we
don't want to talk about the Somalis.
That's right. We want we want the third world shitbags that have come over here with no families, military age, they have no intention of being part of our culture.
Or assimilating.
Mexico is part of our culture of this country, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We won, they lost, but we work it out.
It's not even that. It's that, dude, there is a huge part of America is Latin culture. Like it's assimilated here.
It's in the pot.
It's the second most spoken language here in this country. I don't think, my personal opinion, and dude, I think there's probably some out there, there's probably some people that are like, get rid of everybody except the white people or whatever, right? But I mean, there's a lot of people that are saying get rid of all the white people too. Mm-hmm. So
there's anomalies.
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, I think the issue is being manufactured to be Mexican versus American because of the population size of the Hispanic community.
Correct.
They have, the black and the white community has not gone at each other the way that they did at George Floyd, because now they realize they got played. Mm-hmm. So now they got to have a new group to go against. And dude, I don't think that most Americans feel like they want to kick out their neighbor Jose back to Mexico. That's not, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm talking about these third world people that were dumped out of prisons and sent here by the millions. Yeah. Those people got to go.
Yeah, it's like that movie from the 80s, Red Dawn, these kids up in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's like that, except we got everybody here. No, you're exactly right, and that's the old communist tactic. The United States was too strong to beat them against an invasion. I think it was the Japanese that said behind every blade of grass is a firearm. The Russians even ran all the scenarios, and they're like, there's too many guns, and no way. The way to do it is from within, and the old Soviet tactic is you break down a nation at the weakest point of what they considered the fabric of it. They thought the division between black and white was it. They tried that. They tried the next one with the rainbow community. They tried it with the anti-Semitic, which was not even a thing.
Right.
And now the Mexicans. It's funny because I'm almost kind of wondering what we're talking about.
Anti-Semitism is becoming a thing.
Well, Israel's doing dumb shit.
Well, that's right. Yeah. And people are tying it into Israel, and they're saying, oh, well, you hate Jewish. No, I don't like what that government's doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's a different thing. But anyway, it's becoming a thing because they're getting special treatment with their hate laws. They're passing anti-speech laws against. So why? So are we going to pass laws where you can't say that white people are colonizers and that white people are this and that and this?
No, we're not doing that.
We're going to do that?
We're not doing that.
Right? Like, are we going to do? We shouldn't do any of it. None of it. It should all be on the table for discussion.
No, you're exactly right.
Asshole, if you're a racist asshole, you'll show yourself.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that popped up is in the last number of years from, George Floyd related things, Black Lives Matter, rainbow community, all that. The biggest thing is if you criticize us, you're racist. You're a bigot. And we've been hit with that so hard.
I don't care.
I don't care. Exactly right. But we've been hit with it so hard for so long. All of a sudden now, when the anti-Semitism thing, alleged thing is a thing, which is not actually a thing in America. It's just not. Now you got like these rabbis going nuts, getting on a big podcast going, any criticism of anything relating to Jewish or Israel at any time is anti-Semitism. We're like, F you.
Yeah, that's right. No
like,
one
you're
cares.
Committing genocide and we're supporting this outside another country. F you, that's not anti-Semitism. Your country is doing dumb shit. Stop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it,
dude, I saw this video the other day.
That is it.
It
Right?
should be that
Yeah.
simple. I saw this video the other day. It was like the New York mayoral debates that were going on.
Oh
right?
my God, that.
So you saw this, okay? So did you see this? So they go around. It's like what, 7 of them on the stage or whatever. They're like, what's going to be your first, visit that you will do?
Foreign
as,
visit.
Foreign visit as the new mayor. Oh, I'm going to Israel. Going to the Holy Land. Like every fucking one.
It's like going to Disneyland.
Well,
and
that's because
sports.
the biggest financial lobbies in the world are pro-Israel lobbies, bro. They got to get their money for their election.
Oh, yeah.
They have to say those things.
Yeah.
None of those people are wealthy enough to support
To do it on
themselves
their own, yeah.
or wealthy enough to fight the ad campaign that AIPAC will run against them if they don't say what they're told to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, dude, they may not need the money, but even if they don't need the money, they're not going to be able to withstand the media slaughter that's going to come their way.
Yeah.
So they have to say that to get in office.
It's crazy, man.
Or you've got to be like legitimately like Trump or Elon worth billions of dollars and just say, well, f you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trump didn't even do that. Trump took $100 million from him.
Yeah. You guys, real quick on this last little Riot thing, you guys want to see NFL Hall of Fame tackle?
Hit me. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, well, but to sum this up,
Yeah.
no, sir, you are wrong.
No kind of Sanders.
Yeah. Bro, like I love how these people, what do you think? I'm a idiot?
Yeah.
Like I know I curse and I know I might sound stupid, but the real world evidence would say otherwise, mother.
Mm-hmm. Proof's in the pudding, baby.
Oh no, you just got lucky.
Born
Really?
agitated.
I got lucky 7 times?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I want to watch this NFL tackle real quick though. So, because I mean, to your point
There's like
earlier,
a can, right?
we got a lot of Americans are starting to come out the woodworking, bro. Like,
Yeah.
this shit.
Bro, this dude saves these cops' lives.
Dude,
Watch
I got the
this
cop.
shit.
I got everybody's
Have you
back.
seen this shit?
I saw it.
Watch this.
It's in slow mo.
Bang, bang.
Watch this.
Yeah.
He's pulling out a gun.
Boom.
Gun comes out. You said that wasn't a gun?
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
straight,
think
that
that's a
guy was
gun.
pulling a gun?
That's
It
a gun.
looks like it. No. Look at it how
Flash
it
again.
falls. Look at how it falls. That's why I had to slow it down. I don't think it's a gun. I think it was like some keys or some shit he was holding, or maybe even some sunglasses.
Yeah, he's got some cords dangling. He just had his hands up.
Oh, maybe that was keys.
Yeah, I think what
Fucking
he was
looks
doing,
like a gun.
Yeah, well, it looked like it's furtive movement for sure, but I think he was like pulling his fucking shirt up to wipe his face from getting pepper
Was that
pepper
pepper ball? Was that
Pepper
paintballs?
balls. Pepper balls.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the paintballs.
Well,
they look like
they're not
paintballs.
rubber bullets.
No, I mean they still fucking hurt, and then they're
Yeah,
gonna
like a
fucking-
paintball.
Yeah,
the other thing is, you guys all been in a fight somewhere, okay? You know, if something goes down or somebody like hits you or something, or gets hit, the first thing people do is try to act like it was nothing. You know what I mean? So that guy gets lit up, and I think some of his motions are just him trying to look tough.
yeah.
Initially.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Yeah. See, he's like, yeah, I'm ready to fight. That was nothing.
Boom!
Bam.
I love the tackle.
Dude, that was perfect form tackling.
Yeah.
And that guy, he didn't even have tan legs. That came out of nowhere, man.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it. He's got flip flops on. He's got the.
That
yeah.
dude came.
Who's this dude?
That guy came
That's his
straight.
moment, baby.
That guy came straight out of Father's Day Hallmark.
You're damn right. So
that guy. Somebody was reading a magazine for New Balances, and that motherfucker
what
came
I'm
right
talking
out of it.
Bro.
Man, he spent all day polishing
Yeah.
his Corvette.
Oh yeah, dude.
Lawn chair.
With his his jorts.
That's what I'm
bro,
talking about.
Dude, his jorts and his Tevas, bro.
So we got this. You know how? No, there was an old joke about this way back when. Like, you want to catch Osama bin Laden? I think it's Jeff Foxworthy. Just go on the news and tell everybody he was responsible for Dale Earnhardt's death.
Yeah.
You will have more bass boats with shotgun-toting rednecks whizzing across the Atlantic before you know what's up. That's
Bro,
what that is.
No shit, dude.
Do it for Dale.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Bam! Dale!
Bro, it's such
Do
a
it for
good
you, Dale
tackle.
Jr.
It's such a good tackle, bro.
1st and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, no shit, bro. That guy get a back this
Somebody
week.
signed his. Bro, it's just so perfect.
I just love how he takes it upon himself. He's like, F this guy.
I love that guy.
It's for Dale.
Yeah.
It's
The
great,
next
man.
thing that'll be all over the internet being like, look how racist
Yeah,
this
white guy
is.
tackle.
Shut
You
the
know,
up.
peaceful protester
Yeah.
was handing officers something. You
He
know,
was giving them cupcakes. young, fine future nuclear physicist.
Yeah, right.
Was handing out cupcakes at the rally.
It was aggressively tackled.
And this white supremacist that was eating a Johnsonville brat.
Yeah, right.
He came alive out of the magazine and lit him up.
Dude,
White supremacy eating saltine crackers.
I mean, listen, if we're being real, that was some white supremacy because he was very white. And he was supremacy.
That's pen up right there.
Yeah.
No shit, bro. Mm-hmm. That's 20 years of being told.
He's been taking shit for so long.
That's been
Karens.
20 years of being told that you're a racist. He's like, F it. I am.
That's some real shit. There's danger to that too. It's like the pendulum, right? About if we lose our two-party system, it's like, hey, lefties, maybe don't keep telling everybody they're Hitler and Nazi for a while because they might start thinking about it after a while.
Yeah,
you know
they might start just saying, you know what? I guess I am.
I am what you say.
Yeah,
bro.
You start to think like, well, if I'm going to get accused of it, might as well do it. You know, like, dude, you get some crazy motherfuckers out there, bro.
Yeah, It's like a few years later, it's like, why did the girl's name Erica with a K become so popular in these years? You know,
right.
Yeah,
man. Guys, jump down to the comments. Let us know what you guys think.
Is this Soros's kid accepting the congressional what is it?
Yes.
The Medal of Freedom?
Yes.
How in the hell does he get the Medal of Freedom?
Well,
what's he ever done for the American people?
Well, he did
nothing.
He did a lot for them.
Oh yeah, for them. Give me a break. You know how many people I know that have sacrificed their whole lives to actually help and mentor people out that have gone the mile, that done something real. And this, do you know how much that infuriated me?
Yeah.
Wood chippers, both of them.
Wood chipper, baby.
Then you got Denzel in the back
Gallows
clapping.
Dig.
I like Denzel.
I like Denzel.
Denzel,
too.
what the f***, man?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time doing the dishes, clean up mess at home, man. Wood chipper's messy. I like the old gallows jig is just fine.
We need American Gangster Denzel.
Yeah.
My man.
My man.
Yeah.
Guys, let's go down to the comments what you guys think, man. With that being said, let's keep the cruise cruising. You want some comments?
Yeah.
You want some comments?
Fired up about the comments.
What are we cruising in? This is a good cruise. What metaphorical car are we in right now? Something nasty.
Yeah.
I would say big supercharger.
Yeah. We're in this is Mad Max today.
Yeah.
We're in the Mad Max.
Yeah, it lasts the V8's interceptors.
Yeah. I think we're in the big, the new Mad Max, the 18-wheeler, the one with Charlize.
Yeah, we're all together.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, we can all fit in it. Mm-hmm. You know, we got some good-looking women in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're good. We got some fucking dudes that are just crazy, flying around on poles.
Hanging off with the ropes and shit.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Well, let's go cruise some of these comments. Andy, you've recently had a video that's putting up some numbers across the platforms.
Yeah. Are people mad about that one, or is it pretty much?
Well, we got a bunch of comments here. Andy Damas. Andy for president, hit the nail on the head.
Yes.
The man doesn't miss.
That's correct.
Andy Damas. Yes. Pattern recognition is a sign of high IQ.
Thank you. This is all I'm trying to tell you.
We call that pattern recognition.
They're like, oh, this guy got lucky and everything he did. What if I lost that? I gotta lose a tic-tac-toe, bitches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
But, it's short-lived because...
Oh, okay. This guy's a lunatic. He's also...
Oh, baby.
Imagine blaming people who are protesting police violence for the violence of the police are committing. What? Andy Frisella is against free speech and protesting. I remember when this guy was motivational.
Oh, please.
First of all, I'm not against free speech at all. I think everybody should have free speech. I think everybody should have due process. But I think also that all of those people are required to be citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Non-citizens do not have the same rights as citizens. So if people come here from other countries and break the law and do dumb shit and say dumb shit, they do not have the same privileges that we have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where we round them up and we put them back where they came from.
That's
so
real.
Yes. Yep. And by the way, I am a lunatic. You're correct.
Now, Casey, we have a guy.
Oh, he got roasted.
Everybody got a guy.
Yeah, he's been in there.
See, this is what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah.
These people up in the comments, bro. Bring in the horses.
Come up.
You know what I'm saying? The Clydesdale cartel coming in to stomp faces.
Mm-hmm. Now, Casey, we have a guy that we brought him in the show a few times. His name's Paul.
Okay.
Paul.
That sounds like a cover.
You remember
Is that a
Paul?
real name?
We talked a bunch of shit on Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, well, he's back.
Okay.
Paul run 111. He's back for you, Andy.
Oh,
He says, Paul.
oh man.
Paul the corn sucker.
Hereby do challenge.
To a fitness throwdown of his choosing. Bring your best, car guy. When I smoke you, you'll rock a corn on the cob costume for your next podcast. I might do that anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
Proclaiming Paul hussed me. If I lose, you pick my punishment. But it better match my vibe.
Mm-hmm. Stream it live.
Fans judge who the winner. I want to think about this.
It will not match your vibe. And is that your actual picture?
Oh yeah, that's him. That's Paul.
Yes, but I do appreciate the shit talk.
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe I will take this.
Fair.
Paul,
He says car guy is an insult.
Well, he talks shit. That's how it started.
He made a comment about, quit talking about this car shit. It's gay or whatever. And so I'm like, well, you're gay, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's just because he doesn't have a car. Look, I'm sorry your Huffy broke down on the way to your mom's basement. Damn.
Casey's on the heat, man.
Paul, the corn sucker.
Yeah, right.
What fitness competition do you really think you're going to beat me at?
Corn sucker.
Okay, let me be real. I am a very strong athlete. All right.
No. I see. Look at your biceps.
No,
man.
it's not that.
There's
I
some
didn't mean
canvas
strong
there for
physically.
your tats.
I mean,
he's an athlete.
I'm fucking good,
Yeah.
and I'm fast, and I'm strong, and I'm good as shit.
Agile.
I'm very agile. Twinkle toes.
This guy's in your head right now. He's in your head.
So let's think about the only thing I think I couldn't beat Paul at would be some sort of endurance running. I'm not an endurance runner.
Maybe not.
I guarantee I beat him at a fucking foot race. So
yeah.
I think he's solid at the G-rated insults.
I think he's great.
You know,
I think Paul's redeemed himself.
I like Paul.
I like Paul now too.
It's like bring it on, cream puff.
I do too.
Yeah,
I might wear the corn suit just because.
Just Java GP.
Just because. But dude, this is what I'm talking about. See, we could talk shit.
I'm down with it.
Corn sucker, I like you now. Dude, I love how he writes that. Bro, now we got to have Paul come on the show, man.
Wait.
Paul, and then we're gonna make him do car shit.
Yes,
we're gonna make Paul. We're gonna make you change your perspective, Paul, and you're gonna say, "I love cars," while I'm sucking corn.
We make him do car shit by helping somebody out, maybe helping change oil with somebody that needs it. You know what I'm saying? Out there, make him do that. Do something good for somebody else.
Bro, I take this dude for one ride in the fucking Chiron.
One rip,
and your life will be changed.
No, don't give him a ride in a Chiron for this malarkey. Make him do something to earn it. Make him become a car guy the right way.
We'll see how fast
we'll see how he
suck the corn off of a cob.
So yeah, no Chiron for this.
If you could suck the corn off of the cob faster than DJ.
Whoa.
Oh, hey.
Hey, man.
All right. See, this is the kind of I like, though.
Yeah, I like Paul.
Paul, you're back in the club.
All right.
Feel free to talk shit.
People going to be asking if DJ eats his Snickers bar upside down so it feels fancy on his tongue now.
Well, that's exactly what he does. He told me about that. He's invented that.
All right. Guys.
Paul, you're the man.
Yep. We appreciate you.
Send me a corn outfit. I'll wear them.
I'm deflecting. I'm sorry, DJ. You got to be the deflector right now.
No, it's fine.
But what are you going to wear then? You going to dress up as a grape?
Pot of peas or something. I don't know.
Or it'd be a raisin.
No, you got to be a grape or a pig's foot or something.
Oh boy,
pig's foot. Yeah. Oh man,
I got to be corn. Mm-hmm. Corn is white people shit.
I'll be potato salad for you.
that's
no, you got to be watermelon.
I'll be watermelon.
All right, and I'll be corn.
I'm fine with that.
Do you know that there's actually a drink, an energy drink, a corn energy drink? Did you know that?
Come on,
bro. Go over to Cam's desk and get it off his desk.
Cam.
Yeah. It's on his. It's in his little display. You'll see it. He won't mind that we stole it.
Who makes it?
I'm gonna find out. This is what I'm gonna send Paul so he stops sucking all the corn. Bro, it's not a good habit, man. It kind of looks a little weird.
It does. It does. Yeah. You can get a haircut too.
I will say this though. I respect the game. Paul, you're back on the team.
You could work on his RBF a little bit. You know, smile maybe.
Yeah, but that's what I got too, bro. Everybody thinks I'm always mad.
My wife tells me that I'm like way too intense.
Most of the time I'm mad.
Yeah, she's just like, your looks, man. I'm like, well, what about?
I, Paul the corn sucker.
He's probably really cool.
He's okay.
He's got to be cool if he could talk shit like that.
Yeah. Because we were
He can't be that cool, though, if he hates cars.
Maybe he doesn't. I think he secretly likes him.
How the fuck could you not like cars? See? Look what he's got. Here he comes. The corn deliverer. Now,
wow.
Was I lying?
Nope.
There it is.
Added some curry into it.
Big corn energy.
That's not real.
That is a real drink, dude.
There's something in there?
Yes, I should. Paul, I'm going to send you a case of real corn energy so that you stop sucking the corn.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And if you drink the real corn energy, I'll wear the corn outfit.
And
We
don't
can make a
drink
commercial for a corn drink.
I mean, yeah, Form Energy's
fuck
not
this.
sponsoring us. We might as well get something.
That's right. I didn't get no check from these. Form Energy.
Yeah. Maybe Bitcoin Energy.
Corn now.
Yeah, there we go.
Corn.
Ethanol, baby.
Yeah.
Gas.
Corn drink. I came up with this idea. Corn water.
Yeah, man. Guys, we do appreciate you for being real ass fans, though. Keep liking, commenting. Make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that bell notification to stay up to date with the latest drops from Real AF.
And here's what I will say for you commenters, besides Paul. Paul's cool now. Stomp these.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get all these people feel real comfortable talking to some shit they don't know.
Yeah, if you're afraid to say something right now, realize there's dozens, hundreds, thousands, millions of people that think exactly the way you do that are waiting for just one person to say it.
Well, dude, I get, our people I'm bringing them out of retirement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we calmed them down for a long time. I grew up for a minute.
I've been taking the high road.
Like, we're going to take the high road.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what I realized is that when you take the high road, there's actually no benefit to it. So you could find us in the gutter now, me and the Clydesdales. So stomp these. By the way, I love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get one more headline in.
Let's do
before our thumbs up. Let's go to headline number 2.
We're having such a good time.
It's a great time.
Yeah,
it's a great time. Let's go to headline number 2. Let's talk about some left trash. Some more left trash, I guess.
Gotta talk about all the trash. We're talking about left trash.
But it's interesting because, I mean, let's get on the economy a little bit because some things have been happening, shaking up. They've had the Treasury Secretary, Bassett. He's been getting interviewed down at the House. And there's been some interesting turn of events that's been happening down there. I like the guy, too. He's cool, right? First, openly gay member to serve at that high level of a cabinet position. And so the left doesn't really know how to deal with him, but they've been doing their best. So let's check out this.
Well, yeah, because we don't care if people are gay.
No, he does a great job, and that's all that
That's
matters.
it.
He's qualified.
I don't give a if you're gay. If you're the best brain surgeon, I'd like you to operate on my brain.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gay and you fly an airplane better than everybody else, you're welcome to be my pilot.
Yep.
You know, like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you want to have sex with. I don't care.
Do the job.
As long as it's not kids, then I care.
Yeah, then we're definitely caring.
By the way, before we get into this, 25% of profits go to Nebraska football walk-ons.
Oh, really?
That's pretty fucking cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. My Markway's son plays up there.
Yeah.
Mac Markway plays tight end for the Huskers. That means they're going to be awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, let's get into headline number 2.
Plug for, I don't do ads, so this is a free, but Big Corn, this is actually a conflict of interest. Big Corn Energy. Get you some.
Yeah, let's get into headline number 2. Democrat Stacey Plaskett lashes out at Critic after her meltdown against Treasury Bassett in profanity-laced tirade. Cunt twat. Let's dive into this, man.
The hard shit.
Who is she calling that?
Yeah, I mean,
She went straight to the crack cocaine of insults.
Oh, she went hard.
Yeah.
So this just happened today. Democrat Virgin Island delegate to Congress, Stacey Plaskett, lashed out at a critic after her meltdown against Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett. Plaskett and other Democrats were rude and condescending to Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett on Wednesday. Bassett didn't let Plaskett's nasty attitude affect him. So here's the clip that we're referencing here. Let's check this out.
Ma'am, that's incorrect.
Excuse me. Let me get something straight with you first here. I've seen you interrupt everyone. When you come to someone's house, you respect their rules. And in this house, we don't interrupt individuals. And you're not going to interrupt my time. I'm going to give you time to respond. You may want to jot down some notes about things that you don't agree with me on so that you can respond to them at that time. But while I'm speaking, as the person holding this time, you will refrain from speaking, sir, until I am done.
I look forward to
until I am
responding.
done, and then I will give you time to speak, okay?
Look forward to facts.
Thank you.
She got kicked out of the homeowners association, didn't she?
Oh yeah. Wait, so what happened here?
Well, so the crazy thing is, because she's from the Virgin Islands, a representative from the Virgin Islands, she actually has no actual voting power. They do allow her to be on the panels and stuff like that, but she has actually no real power here. So that video has been going out and viral because, again, Scott Bessent, he's been getting hammered in these investigations, been handling it beautifully, right, respectfully. And they just been flat out lying. So somebody posted this on Twitter, this video. A stoic Glopnik tweeted this out, said, do all these twats have their PMS cycle synced? Someone needs to ship a case of Midol to the Capitol this afternoon. Okay.
That's not that bad. That's a joke my mom would
Yeah,
make.
right. Yeah, sure. Right. It's cool. Well, she clapped back. All right. And this is what's got her on the the talking thing. She said, and from her official account, excuse you, this twat, cunt, pum-pum, whatever.
Whoa.
What's a pum pum?
Ain't nobody called you a cunt or a pump. What the hell is that?
Hold on. We went into new
Urban
territory.
Dictionary, bro.
Hold
Pum-pum.
on. I know profanity, bro. I am a profanity connoisseur.
Proficient.
What the is a pum pum?
Same thing. Same.
A pum pum.
Where?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
before.
it's like I think it's like Virgin Islands.
Is it?
Like Jamaican slang for
I'm going to remember this.
vagina.
Oh, it is?
For-
Pum-pum.
Pum-pum.
It's a good thing or bad thing?
Pum pum. Is that a derogatory term?
I
Can we look this up?
don't think it's derogatory. Bro, you got
Zishan, look it
Is
up.
that like
bro.
dudes in the Virgin Island at the bar like pum-pum? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Pum pum pum.
who let the dogs out? Pum-pum.
Pum
You know what I'm saying?
pum pum.
Pum-pum. Yeah,
Okay.
Jamaica. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
That doesn't
Blood
sound
clot,
bad though.
you
That
know?
sounds like kind of nice.
Oh.
Mhm.
It it doesn't sound as bad
Girl,
as
let me
that.
see that pum-pum.
I just call her a bitch, which isn't a vagina. That's a dog, female dog. It's a nasty one.
Roof.
But so she tweeted this out. This is her. These not my words. These are her. Okay. Excuse you. This twat, cunt, pum pum, whatever you want to call it, represents an organ that gives life and is resilient. So thanks for the compliment. I can take one interruption, but Bessent was out of control. And I know I look good for my age, but baby, I'm postmenopausal and it still works. Cherries, water emoji.
That's gross.
First of all,
What? That's disgusting.
yeah, a vagina is not
So
a
she's
womb.
saying
There's
she has a
difference.
juicy pum pum.
She has a juicy pump.
She has a juicy pum pum pum.
But the cherries, to me, that says balls.
No, that's
What's
like no.
Oh, it smells like cherry. It tastes like cherries.
That means
the pum pum tastes
By the
like
way,
cherries.
if you're postmenopausal, it doesn't work as an organ that creates life anymore.
Yeah,
so
and by the
that's a
way, it
sexual
doesn't
thing.
just create life because sperm creates life.
yeah, right. Well, I mean, dude,
Sperm is the most raising life giver in the planet.
protein.
Dude, it grows a whole baby in 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, you want to get jacked? Get yourself some sperm. The pee drinker guy told me, man.
That's
Getting
weird.
weird.
That's what
It's
it
getting
is.
weird. Let's go back to the corn on the cob, Joe.
Well,
Yeah, right,
I don't even know.
What do you mean weird? We're trying to get swole.
Dude, she's got a little Michelle going on,
Bro,
man. In my personal
listen,
opinion.
you don't let her around your hee-haw. You know what I'm
Yeah, right.
saying? Look at those jumpers.
I think she.
She look like
Anybody
Yeah.
remember the movie Predator with Arnold?
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. That's her.
No, that's Michelle. Michelle looks like Predator.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle?
I
Or
thought
no, Predator. Yeah, Michelle.
Obama?
Yeah,
Oh, I never thought of that.
I
Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mike.
He gets it.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
But yeah, so-
no,
Right.
we don't care about your cherry juicy pum pum.
Pump. No pump.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I'm cool.
everybody has a bad day though, but that was weird.
That was.
Hey,
dude,
you know
it was
what?
Super weird.
Hey, here's the reality. She's trying to make it funny. At
Mhm.
least she has some sense of
Fair.
humor. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, but she didn't excuse you like a Karen would. you're starting off on the wrong foot to be funny.
then she kind of makes it funny. Like, it's funny. I mean, maybe she's not being funny. Maybe she say, "Hey, my pom is juicy."
Clip that shit right there.
I got a juicy pom.
Lord have mercy.
I mean, I don't know. She sounds very comfortable saying it, bro.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. I don't know.
You want this juicy pom?
But they've been
At
on
least
this.
she can't vote wherever she is.
Dude,
I almost said something.
no comment.
Yeah, no comment. No comment.
Oh,
How it should be. No, it's not okay.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be this. Just Casey advocates for taking away women's right to vote. No,
listen,
delete that all
her
that shit.
in that
Delete
group that apparently she has no voting power.
Yep.
All right,
but
she at least she's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. That's cool.
I can appreciate funny people.
No,
I can,
because the left is
even
not
if
funny.
they're not that funny. At least they're trying.
It's
Yeah,
A
fair,
for effort.
fair.
A for effort.
A for effort.
The pom thing, man.
D for
I
execution.
never heard of it. I'm mind blown.
It's a new
dude.
one.
That's what
I got
like
a
doing on the
whole
internet now.
bro. I got a whole new term.
When people do this trolling right now, I just grade them, and
Yeah.
I'm like, your insult would mean more if you made a point that was based in reality. I'm going to give you a B- for effort, a C for execution, and an F for eligibility. Like, do better,
Yeah,
and it's
just
just
be
kind of
better.
fun. Just
Yeah.
grade them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they've been on this economy trick. Economy's looking better, and I thought because I have two car guys in the room,
Yeah.
there is a big change up that just came down the fold. America's biggest automaker dodges tariffs with stunning $4 billion shift from Mexico to U.S. plants. So let's talk about this a little bit. America's best selling car maker is putting U.S. factories back in the spotlight. General Motors announced plans to invest $4 billion in American manufacturing capacity that will help shift vehicle production from Mexico to the United States. The company said Tuesday that the investment will be made over the next 2 years and is for gas and electric vehicles. CEO Mary Barra said in a statement on Tuesday that GM is committed to making 2 million vehicles annually in the U.S. and supporting American jobs. Now, last year, GM built 889,000 cars in Mexican factories, including the gas and electric Chevy Equinox and Blazer. Soon, freshly built gas-powered Chevrolet Blazer and Chevy Equinox models will roll out of American plants. Both are expected to come stateside starting in 2027. What we got on that?
Well, first of all, they're not telling the whole story.
Mhm.
Okay.
Never did.
EVs are not selling.
No, they're not.
They're rotting on the lots. Okay. Now Teslas might be selling, but Ford and Chevy and everybody else is making
All their EV
EVs.
shit is
their
done.
shit's not selling.
Yeah.
Most of these companies are going back to internal combustion engines. They're doing it. Mercedes just announced it. Ferrari said that they're thinking about it, which I mean, I think they're doing it.
Well, they should. The whole point of Ferrari and Lamborghini is stuff to be
I know, bro.
sexy internal combustion. It
I know.
sounds amazing. I don't want your
That's
stupid electric motor in a Ferrari
I-
that sounds like a vacuum sweeper of a V6. Give me a V12.
Dude, no doubt. Real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk. I'm a very good customer of that brand,
Yeah.
and I do like the brand a lot. But bro, the reason I like the brand is because they make the best ICE engines ever.
I want them to sing.
Yes. So they're not talking about that GM is also building. They spent $1 billion to build a plant that develops only natural or gas powered V8 engines.
Mhm.
Yeah,
All right, I
800
did hear that,
million
yeah.
to
So
build new
so
V8
I
engines,
actually
so.
think what we're going to see, and I'm interested to hear what you think on this, but I actually think we're going to see this time of EV. I don't think it's going to stick. I think we're going to see it go from gas to, the last 10 years, EV.
Well,
And I think we're going to fade back in because, dude, at the end of the day, people aren't buying them.
correct.
They're not buying them.
Yeah. What's the market say?
It's
Yeah.
expensive,
Yeah.
and they're not returning much, and there's issues with them, and
And
frankly,
dude, like for the battery replacement, like, dude, I have a McLaren P1.
yeah,
Okay. People don't understand this. The battery on what's the battery on a Tesla to replace? Isn't it like it's
it's
25, 30 grand, right?
tremendous,
My P1 battery is 200 grand.
crazy.
Yeah. So like, dude, these are not,
They're not
The-
sustainable.
no, that dude, no, that, dude, it is what it is. And it's the technology is not how they promote it to be. It's not doing anything good for the environment. It's actually worse for the environment. You know this.
Correct.
It's worse for infrastructure too. Those cars.
No, and let's be real, they suck.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing.
Nobody wants to drive a golf cart everywhere they go.
No. Here's the thing. The electric motors are pretty darn good. Okay, there's only so much to develop. You can develop battery technology to make it faster or hold more. Okay, great. But in the meantime, we can still develop ICE engines a long way.
Yeah.
We can have the infrastructure already for that. And here's something really...
Bro, they killed that they figured out how to do it on water.
Yeah, there's so many stories of that going on for so long. It's funny because with my car, people are like, watch out, big oil going to get you. I'm like, I'm not worried about them because I'm their advocate. It's EV or global leftists that would be after me or want to silence me right now. And
I would say that's accurate.
Yeah, that's the so-called enemy. That's why they want you to be quiet and go away. But, EV, with internal combustion, there's so much farther to go and develop. And I have to point this out because nobody thinks of this. I remember, I think it was freshman year high school physics class. We were talking about electric cars versus, internal combustion. So people got to remember, not every place in the world is a first world country with infrastructure. You're a second, third world country or the military. Oh, we're going to generate electricity on a grid that doesn't exist on demand and
they were trying to
your electric vehicles. Oh, I know they were.
They were trying to make electric tanks.
Idiots. And so the point is,
going to war, bro. Let's not hurt the environment.
Right. Transport and store fuel.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, right.
God damn. There's a reason the word has come back.
Yes. That is 100% fact.
Just saying the word with people you don't know at the right time, the world is healing. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No. You're 100% true. People still get mad about it, but they're not like pressing you like they were.
I say it about myself in public, so you're
listen,
cool. People are like, I'm like,
look,
man, I'm kind of today.
Nobody calls a mentally disabled person.
No one.
It's not. There's context to every word.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
It's like the other word.
Your guys' word that we can't say.
Which word? No,
the one you always say.
Here's your wallet back.
No,
which one?
No, you say, give me your wallet. Not that one.
I'll be right back, kids. Which one?
I'm going to get milk.
Kids, I'm home. No.
That's one you never say. Anyway, the point is there's context to words, man.
Context matters.
Yeah, like for real, dude. Like nobody's out here calling like actual mentally disabled people.
Yeah, right.
Like we're calling you if you get mad about it.
Yeah. Well, a point on that, okay, with people getting to a point where they don't care anymore. You got pushed too far for too long. I remember 1999, my first year going to college, right? And all of a sudden, bam, I got hit in the face with the PC culture, basically telling me everything I thought.
I never bought into it.
No, I know, but I remember that day when I first got hit in the face with it when I went to Ohio State from Tiffin, right? And I was like, oh my God. And since that time, we've been pushed to, we're the bad guy. You can't say this. You can't do this. You got to support this, everything. And I realized over the last decade, I'm like, I spent my life building a more efficient car than an EV that's good for everybody and the environment. I spent the last 11 years of my life not getting paid to mentor students of every color and background to pick up where the American educational system has failed to help get them jobs. I'm doing everything the left pretends to give a goddamn about, but never does, because all they do is go out and can virtue signal at a party. Hopefully there's an open bar for them and feel good about themselves when I've been out doing it and I'm the one they always attack. And you know what? I don't give a flying anymore.
Dude, me neither.
Come at me. Attack me in every way, shape, and form. You've got nothing.
Dude, this is the point they did not want people to get to.
I'm here.
Because, dude, I am too. I don't, and dude, like I started speaking out on the show recently about the discrimination against white people. Okay. That's a real thing.
Yep.
All right. And people will say, because it goes against every narrative that's been told for the last 20 years, but it's true. Okay. And, I've generally found that most people get it. Like most black people are like, yeah, dude, stand up for yourself. Like you should, and, at the end of the day, bro, I think that's what's happened. I think people have pushed, like, dude, it's emotional abuse.
Yeah.
Like, you're a good dude. Like, I'm a good dude, bro. What the you're calling me all these names? And eventually you're like, you. And then they're like, see,
I told you.
yeah, see, look at him.
There it is.
Yeah. No,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right there.
I've gone out and I've done the work. They didn't think anybody would. I've done it.
Bro.
And you know what? Dad's home now, and I'm not taking any shit.
That's right, bro. Listen, dude, here's the deal. We got to be smart about this because they want us to, here's what they want. They want white people to get so mad that they actually do hate everybody else.
I don't.
And no, that's how they win. How we win is by laughing at them and saying, look at how obvious these plays are. Look how obvious they're trying to turn Mexicans against everybody else in America. Look at, like, we're not falling for it, bro. Like, if you're falling for it and you find yourself mad and angry and emotional, dude, you got to remember that's the outcome that they've tried to create.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you to hate people of a different sexual orientation or
color.
a different color of their skin. And dude, there's nothing more low IQ than hating someone else because of who they like to have sex with or what color their skin pigment is. There's good people and then there's shitty people. And there is good white people and shitty white people. There is good black people and shitty black people. And there's good gay people and shitty gay people.
Yeah.
Like, it's in India, bro, is there good and bad people? In Bosnia, is there good and bad people? It's humanity.
Yeah, right.
Okay? And like them trying to agitate all of us into this game of hating each other is how they win.
Correct.
And yes, we could criticize them and we could say this is wrong, but you have to be very careful because you brought it up, dude. The pendulum is now swinging so far back, and the problem with the pendulum swinging so far back is that the true power lies on the right side of the equation.
Correct.
Okay, so the right, the center right of this country owns all the guns. It's all the capable men.
Accurate.
It's everybody that you don't want to with. And if we allow that pendulum to swing too far back, we will end up with a really bad situation. Correct. And so it's up to the responsible men of this country who are angry and are mad to say, yes, this is not right, but I'm not going to do what they want me to do. F them. And we need to all of us look at the people who are manipulating us and who are pulling the strings and say, bro, how much easier would our life be if these people weren't doing this? How much easier would our life be if George Soros wasn't funding all of this crazy shit? How much easier would our life be if Joe Biden hadn't funneled out $100 billion from the date of the election till the date of Trump's inauguration to go into USAID and other NGOs to fund their mission for the next 4 years? These people are our enemies. We are not the enemies of each other. They are our enemies. And we, white, black, gay, straight, yellow, red, blue, I don't give a need to realize who the enemy really is, and it's not each other, it's them.
Correct. And I'll give you one example and another statement on that. So with Genius Garage, right? I choose students simply based on what's in their head and their hearts, okay? It's not just specifically your resume. It's like, who do I think is going to do something with this investment of time and money and effort? Who do I's life can I change the most for the better? That's how they get chosen. And you know what? Straight up honest, at home in my garage is a bright orange Lamborghini, and on the wall next to it's a MAGA flag. And last year, students that I directly mentored and spent my own time and money to help out, I had a first-generation American whose family was Chinese. I had a black dude from Ohio whose dad, I shit you not, was a Black Panther in the 60s, and he's pretty conservative now.
They were actually pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, his son is.
Yeah.
And this is just a thing. I'm like, I can make a difference for this person, and I don't necessarily know whatever, but I also had, believe it or not, a trans woman in there, and I also mentored a Jewish kid. So if anybody wants to come at me and says that I'm whatever, you can go f yourself and look at my track record. Now, the thing I got to point out regarding who the real enemy is, let's look at everything going on in the world, right? Manufactured protests, the infiltration of the left to create that and stoke that. Things going on with Israel to stoke war in Iran. immigrants being pushed into Europe, different kinds to destroy the European West. What's being pushed here to create division in America? If you just take all those things and find the commonality of what's creating it, you found the enemy. That's the enemy. All this stuff is crap mess we have to take care of, but what's creating it? And then meanwhile, we have to be vigilant, like you said, as me, a Midwestern, straight white man with a family that helps people out and votes a Republican. But at the same time, too, we have to look at our own party, and we have to realize that if we completely destroy another party and it's gone, that's not good for America. And if our own party does dumb shit, i.e. unregulated AI for 10 years, or starts having people that look like they're manufactured by billionaires in, that's not good at either. And that's the way I feel about it.
I don't disagree with any of that.
No, not at all.
And dude, here's the other thing. The enemy list is not a religion or a race. You idiots. Okay? It is a group of people with names. So if you want to get around the defenses that these people use, which is to call you names, racist, anti-Semite, bigot, blah, 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 then stop referring to the enemy as a group and start referring to them by their names. Because that is the defense that they use to make sure that we cannot criticize them.
They avoid
and by the way, those people are from all different walks of life. There are so-called Christians that are in on it. There are Jews, quote unquote, that are in on it. These people all use these titles as shields so that you can't It's no different than that shitty dude that you know that every night he's on internet saying he's blessed and quoting Bible verses, and you know him in real life and you know he's a piece of shit.
Yep, it happens across the board.
Yes, that's what those people do. They say, I'm Christian, I'm Jewish, I'm this, to protect themselves. Okay? If you just name them
and leave it at that,
and don't bring into these other things, their race, where they come from, this, that, the other. Now we have an opportunity to solve the problem.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm glad you think.
And by the way, they all organize. It's called the World Economic Forum.
Davos, Switzerland.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. Guys, hell of a conversation. Jump down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. But that being said, our final segment of the show.
Yo.
We have thumbs up or dumb as fuck. So this is where we bring a headline in, and we judge it, we critique it, and it gets
work. Holy shit.
I'm all the way through in my grape.
Fuck. I'm ready to run. I ain't sleeping tonight.
I'm ready to run away from home.
Yeah. Oh, you are? You ain't running nowhere.
Oh, dude, I didn't tell you. You know what Addison did this morning?
What, she ran so fast you couldn't catch her?
No, she had my phone. She called Sal like 9 times.
Really?
She called Nick Clemens a couple of times. She FaceTimed a couple of people. I was fucking asleep.
Yeah.
The little girl got my phone. Yeah.
Did she actually talk to him?
I don't know. No, Sal said she kept hanging up. I'm like, fuck, man, sorry. But yeah, we bring a headline in, we talk about it, we judge it. It gets one of those two options. So for that being said, our thumbs up or dumbest headline reads, "Not so hot pursuit of burglary suspect sees police cars chase tractor excavator at walking pace." So this is
excavators move pretty slow.
Yeah, they do. And that's what he decided to be his getaway.
Is it like an excavator?
Oh yeah.
Like the one I got?
The big one.
All right, let's see this.
In South Carolina, baby. Let's go down there. Police in South Carolina engaged in a not-so-hot pursuit as they chased a tractor excavator down a main highway for more than an hour at the speed an average adult walks. The chase reached speeds of 3 miles per hour early Sunday morning in North Charleston. Police said officers on a different call saw the big piece of construction equipment with treads and a shovel in front go across U.S. Highway 78 around 3:30 a.m., North Charleston police wrote in their report. A few minutes later, they got a burglary call from a business that was heavily damaged and saw the excavator slowly heading away. Police said several cars immediately joined in the very slow speed pursuit. Here's the video.
Not exactly Harold Niemeyer.
Well, I mean, look, you can do some real shit with an excavator. Like, they got to keep their distance. It's the most useful piece of construction equipment
ever made.
I think so. You can do anything with it. Like, you could pick up one of those cars.
Yeah, that's true.
So is this what happened? This guy
That's
got
kinda-
pissed at someone's business and went and destroyed it
Yeah, probably.
with his excavator. So he's trying to do like the killdozer thing,
Mhm.
kind of.
Why did he choose to drive it? Was it funny
I
at a
mean, they're
point?
kind
Like,
of
I feel like you'd have to
They're
be
kind of
drunk.
hard to put on a trailer.
Yeah.
Well,
You got to put them on a
you
low
can
boy.
run faster and hide. Why is he doing that?
Oh, he did do that too after he after he stopped. He then took off on the foot
Okay.
pursuit. And
Do you like heavy equipment too?
Much as the next guy, sure.
Do you don't? Do you? I grew up running, being on it and stuff.
Oh yeah, tractors, old
Yeah.
Ford tractors
I
from the
fucking love
40s, from the
Yeah.
50s and stuff. Yeah, of course.
what year is that international you got? Don't you got that international?
It's a 79.
79?
Yeah.
That thing's sick.
Yeah.
No, it's a 70. And then that Ford I have is a 91. Believe it or not, it looks way older.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, does it say any more?
Yeah, I mean, he was the driver tried to run, but was followed by a drone until a police dog and handler caught up. He's in the Charleston County Jail on a $22,000 bond. 53 years old. Rolling.
Failure to stop for a blue light.
That's
that
the
the
police
cops?
lights.
Cops,
Yeah,
yeah.
and 2 counts of
And-
malicious injury to real property.
So he got pissed about something
Yeah, somebody pissed him off.
and decided to f up their business. Well, you don't f with people, man.
They got excavators.
Listen, man. Like, dude, listen, dude. You never know where people are, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's just sometimes you just don't care.
I've made that joke a couple of times when people or whatever. I'm like, you realized I made a military jet powered Batmobile for fun. Are you sure you
That's
want
like
to
that
piss me
scene.
off?
That's like that scene in Dark Knight where the accountant comes up to Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want $10 million every year for the rest of my life. And Morgan Freeman looks at him and goes, so you're telling me that you think that your boss is moonlighting as a vigilante and your idea, who beats people with his bare hands,
Yes.
and your idea is to blackmail him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
I like that.
yeah.
Proper
I
shit.
forgot
Yeah.
about that line, honestly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of when you
No,
said
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, what we got on this, man?
I would say thumbs up, man.
Yeah.
He didn't wreck too much stuff.
I mean, here's the thing.
He avoided the lights. I mean, he moved
Good
the
sport.
bucket.
And here's the other thing. Like he was very committed because it took a long time. Like, you know how like when you get mad and then like you like go do some stuff and then like you're like 10 minutes later you're like, I'm not that mad.
Yeah, right.
And then like an hour later you're like, what the f was I mad for? You know, but like to be so mad that you go drive across town 3 miles an hour.
This dude did it right because he got to savor all the cops driving so slow and blocking traffic. It's like when I drive my old 31 Buick Phaeton. It's funny to me because normally I got Lamborghinis and stuff and I'm the fast one. But now I'm happy as can be. There's nobody in front of me because I'm holding up traffic and I think it's funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Thumbs up on that?
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if he thought he was going to like get away with it at 3:30 in the morning.
Would have got away with it too if it wasn't for
More
you.
for you kids.
Yeah, right. What you got on this, Casey? Thumbs up?
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up.
All right.
Yeah. I'm for more killdozers.
Yeah. I'm down with it, man.
Yeah.
Well, thumbs up on that.
Whistle and Diesel, he's building a replica right now.
Is he really?
You know about that?
No.
Yeah, and you know what? Hats off to him.
Bro, did
he's
you
not
see
my
him?
style, but
No, he's cool, bro. Did you see? He's similar to you. He builds all kinds of shit.
yeah, he does it a little differently than I
Yeah,
do.
he's
though.
younger than you though too.
He's
He's in his 20s, I think.
the entertainment of destruction, and mine is I'm actually trying to create stuff in the real world and being pissed
The
off.
coolest thing I saw him do was put that that tank on remote control.
Oh yeah,
That was
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's done some
Yeah.
very entertaining stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He put missiles on his monster truck. That was pretty cool.
real ones.
I don't think they're real, but like
That
you
the
guys
ones-
should probably connect because I'm sure you could make them.
Oh, I definitely could.
Yeah.
I,
You know what that sounds like? I have a few.
Yeah, right.
hey,
Boating
man,
accident.
I may or may not have recently helped a student get a job somewhere. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
bro. If you got to say they're in a boating accident, it's time to use them.
Yeah, use them.
Yeah.
Use them. Yeah.
All these Pro 2A people are like, oh, I lost my guns in the boating accident. No, if it's time to say that, it's probably time to use them.
Yeah, it's real, man.
Yeah. So
Well, guys.
that's not an
Andy.
endorsement.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, foreshadowing, maybe.
whatever you want to call it.
Sure. Well, guys, Andy, Casey,
Yo,
brother. Guys,
What was the best part about the show? It was a good show.
The best part?
My favorite part was
The Poom Poom?
No, the Poom Poom was good.
Poom Poom's pretty
Oh,
good.
Poom was good and
Poom
juicy.
Poom's, listen, Poom Poom's always good.
Yeah. The worst Poom Poom was still pretty good.
We got some good rants right in the middle there.
I think the corn sucker.
Yeah.
Paul
Paul's
the
redemption.
corn sucker
Yeah.
was the highlight of my show today.
Yeah, Paul's redemption.
You know why? Because he didn't bitch out like a little pussy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He comes back with some funny ass shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul's back on the team.
Shout out to Paul, man.
We're sending Paul something.
Yeah.
Some corn. All right.
Yeah, guys, that's all I got, man.
All right, man. DJ,
Yes, sir.
Casey,
Yo,
thank you, bro.
you got it. Thanks
Awesome
for having
show. I'm sure we'll have you back.
me. Anytime.
That was super fun.
Anytime.
Where,
Super
where can people find your content?
YouTube, Casey the Car Guy, Instagram, Casey Putsch. Otherwise, I'm too easy to find. That doesn't mean you should try to pop out behind the bushes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's the show. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.